nice with the helpful hardware folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. It's October, so savings on all things spooky. $9.99 for an 100-count Halloween LED light string pack. And get those ghostly vibes with a giant glowing ghost inflatable, $99.99. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And get ahead of the cold. Ace brand winterizer, just $16.99.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mid is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mid. Mid-Michigan sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Good morning. Welcome back, Mr. Cade Cunningham.
Don't touch me, I'm sizzling.
Took a second, took a few games, but Cade Cunningham, cold-blooded Cade Cunningham, is back. We're going to get to that in the 10 o'clock hour. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. Ben Bosscher here with you as always. Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. Happy Halloween Eve. I think that's what that Undertaker bell's supposed to mean. We have our Thursday NFL spread picks coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Something we always are looking forward to. John's going to join us to do that as well. So that's something to look forward to a little bit later on in the show. We'll get to Cade Cunningham's enormous night at LCA in a little bit, but we got to start where we ended yesterday. Aiden Hutchinson's paid man. The highest contract value in terms of guaranteed money in the history of the NFL. $141 million guaranteed, $180 million in total on the contract is how much he can potentially earn. And, yesterday was a reactionary thing because the news happens at, 11:15, Kyle? About then. So we got to react to it and find out the numbers in real time. Now that I've had a second to sit down and think about it, and we've gotten the numbers and the guarantees and all that stuff, I'm just more and more impressed with the way that the Lions operate from an organizational standpoint. I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question. What do these teams have in common? The 49ers, the Chiefs, the Colts, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, the Steelers, and the Rams. All of those teams not only are perennial playoff teams, but all of which have dealt with contract extensions over the past 5 years, whether it's Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Lamar Jackson, DK Metcalf, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, Aaron Donald going back a few years. Every single one of these teams has dealt with contract hold-ins, hold-outs, people upset that they're not getting the money because organizations let it get to that point. And somehow Brad Holmes has managed to draft all of these superstars in his 5 years with the Detroit Lions. 8 different guys have made the Pro Bowl, and that's excluding special teams guys, whether it's Brian Branch, Taylor Decker, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, which is a little bit different of a situation, Ragnow, Sewell, St. Brown, Laporta. You have all these stars, yet none of them have gotten to a point where there is a contract dispute. Right? The closest thing we've had to that is Alex Anzalone sitting out of a couple days of training camp. And the reason I'm not all that concerned about it is because they're not going to be bringing back Alex Anzalone anyway. You look at it, all the money that they've dealt out, it's just shy of $1 billion. Jared Goff, $212 million. Aiden Hutchinson, $180 million. Amon-Ra, $120. Sewell, $112. McNeil, $97. Joseph, $86. Williams, $83. Decker, $60. And even that short Montgomery extension was $18.25 million. They have spent near $1 billion on contract extensions. 9 contract extensions to be exact. And not once has there been a dispute or a holdout or a hold-in. That is the sign of an elite organization who prioritizes development, re-signing their guys, and paying their guys because they've earned it. They let their players go out there, show that they deserve to be paid, and they will not hold this thing out. They will not try to win the contract. All they want to do is get their players signed. And for them to be batting 1,000 after drafting this much talent, for them to be batting 1,000 this far into Brad Holmes' tenure, it's one of the most impressive features that an NFL GM has had over the past half decade. We can get into who the best drafter is, who wins the most trades. I know a lot of people would consider Howie Roseman the best GM in the NFL for that sort of stuff. But when it comes to just getting your guys under contract, it's getting pretty hard to dispute anyone else other than Brad Holmes being that number one person in the NFL. And part of the reason I think that there is no contract holdouts, there is no, hey, I'm not getting along with the GM, like my agent and I decided this is what's going to be best for me, is because you have the leadership of Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Penei Sewell. Those 3 guys I always think are going to be the pillar of this Detroit Lions organization. They have embodied the Detroit Lions culture. We always talk about Dan Campbell setting the culture, but it's these guys who have maintained it because the players see them work day in, day out at practice. And guess what? All of those guys have been rewarded with contracts now that Aiden Hutchinson has been signed. So everyone else that gets drafted to this organization looks up to those players, sees the work they put in, and knows if we follow suit, we are eventually going to get paid. It is top-notch stuff from what has become a top-notch organization in the NFL. And it's not a surprise to anybody. It's not like I'm breaking news. Hey, the Lions are a well-run organization. But sometimes you just have to take a step back and really ask yourself, like, the Lions, they might just be the best run, the most well-run organization in all of football. There are no bumps and bruises. There are no contract holdouts. And sometimes I think we take that for granted because you look around the rest of the league and there's not really other teams, at least playoff teams, that are worried about signing guys that can say that about themselves. The Ravens did it with Lamar Jackson. The Rams somehow had contract disputes with the greatest defensive player I've ever seen in Aaron Donald. Right? Like the Seahawks, this team that has had a handful of different quarterbacks and has continued to stay relevant through it all, did it with their receiver last season and ended up having to trade him away. The Steelers did it with TJ Watt. All of these teams that you see in the postseason every year at some point have ran into a bump on the road because they didn't want to pay their guy and their guy deserved more money or demanded more money. And you haven't seen it once with the Lions. I think this is the most healthy, well-run, top-down organization in the NFL. Now, do they need a Super Bowl to really, feather in the cap? Absolutely, yes, it is. Probably. But just from a functionality standpoint, there's not a lot of teams that rival the Detroit Lions right now. And not only does that start with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, I'm looking all the way to the top. Sheila Hamp has been nothing but phenomenal for this Detroit Lions organization. When she was brought in and became the president of the team, or the owner of the team, chairman of the team, I think is her official title, she made it very clear. I want to be hands-off. I want to be hands-on, but I'm not making football decisions. I want to employ people that are going to help me build this thing up, that are going to change what people think about the Detroit Lions. And she could not have made two better hires in Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. And those two guys could not have brought in better people to lead the team like Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff, all of which are now under contract for the Detroit Lions. Kyle, I continue to be impressed with everything this organization does, whether it's new facilities, whether it's upgrading certain stuff in the weight room, whether it's getting people under contract, or whether it's the draft. All of it just screams, we want to do things the right way, and we are here to stay. This is the biggest reason that I think the Lions are going to be able to do what Brad Holmes has preached for the last 4 years and have sustainable success, right? There's a reason they're not going all in at the trade deadline. It's because Brad Holmes is so damn good at drafting and re-signing his guys. So let's just continue this, be good every year, be one of those organizations like the Ravens, like the Chiefs, like the 49ers, like the Rams, that you just know are going to be there in January. God forbid an injury happens to their quarterback. They are one of the premier organizations in the NFL, and as long as that's true, I don't know why anyone would ever think that this team is going away. It'll look different, but it's not going away.
Absolutely. And not only is Brad Holmes great at drafting and great at re-signing his guys, he's great at structuring the contract so that he can re-sign all of his guys. That's been the general consensus I've seen on NFL Twitter to this new deal for Aiden Hutchinson. How are they able to pay Hutchinson when they're already paying a quarterback and a star receiver and a star offensive tackle? I thought that you couldn't do that. I mean, a lot of teams, you see the Cincinnati Bengals, they paid a quarterback and 2 wide receivers, and they all of a sudden can't pay anyone. Well, it's because of the way that Brad Holmes has structured these deals. All the details about this Aiden Hutchinson deal, that they're mapped out all the way to 2030, and obviously he's making in the, $45 million a year, but it's really not going to be that much by the way this thing is structured out on a year-to-year basis. And it's truly remarkable how we talk about all of these guys that have gotten paid for the Lions. It's not just that core four either. Kirby Joseph is paid. Aleem McNeil is paid. Jameson Williams just got paid. Taylor Decker's been under a long contract. They are just able to keep this sustained because of how smart the guy in charge is and how good he is at getting those guys in the building, but keeping them in the building, I think, is so important. We see this all the time with good franchises where you almost run into a little bit of a harm because of how good of players you draft. You can't afford to keep them all. We see it across all sports. And Brad Holmes finagles his way around it. And it's truly awesome to see him outsmart the system and just to be this leader that this Lions organization has been behind for the last several seasons. And I'm so happy that we now have this for sure core four for the next at least 4 or 5 seasons.
Jared Goff, are you talking about as that fourth guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. The cap hit, you mentioned the way that he structures it. Next year, it's going to be the 5th-year option. Or 2027 is actually going to be No. 2026 is the 5th-year option year. Then 2027 hits. That first year under the new contract, $38 million cap hit. Another $38 million cap hit in 28. Then it spikes in 29 up to $58 million. And then in that final year of the contract, it comes back down to $50 million. So it's backloaded for sure, which makes me think, my mind, you know where my mind goes to right away, knowing that this Aiden Hutchinson contract is backloaded? They want to extend someone right now and maybe not do this massive long-term deal, but give them a bunch of guaranteed money over the next 3 years, 4 years, including like next year, because Aiden Hutchinson's contract extension didn't include that. And the person that makes the most sense to do that is a position that you don't necessarily want to extend guys long-term. I'll tell you who that is when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt, but let's just lay out the 4 guys that still need contract extensions, and I want to hear from you who you think the Lions are going to prioritize the most here. We've got Jack Campbell, who's having an all-pro season. I expect him to be on a Pro Bowl/all-pro team at the end of the year. That's how good he has played the linebacker position. We've got Sam Laporta, who continues to be one of the most underutilized weapons in the NFL. Again, if Jameson Williams didn't exist, I think Sam Laporta's numbers could be out of this world. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's obviously turned himself into one of the best running backs in the NFL. And, of course, we've got Brian Branch, who I think is one of the best safeties in the NFL already. However, the Lions are already paying a safety. Of those 4 guys, Campbell, Laporta, Gibbs, Branch, who should the Lions prioritize to sign next? I'll tell you who I believe the Lions are signing next when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses, well, they need strong tech, and that's where Iron Stack comes in. Locally owned in Midland, they keep your IT rock solid from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone to your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop or growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technologies, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Iron Stack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Iron Stack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. Mm-hmm. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Hey, sports fans heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan, featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown.
Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins square off in the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage tonight, 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mid.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back in to the show. Hope everyone's having a good start to their Thursday today. Got football back in our lives later today, but let's jump back into this Lions thing, because I want to know, who should the Lions pay next now that Aiden Hutchinson's been paid? You got Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jack Campbell. And the way that this Aiden Hutchinson contract is split up, where it's very much backloaded, makes me think they want to do an extension with a player to where they're going to be getting paid a ton in the early stages, really in the next few seasons. And if you're going to do that, it should be a running back. You don't necessarily want to pay a running back over the course of 5 years. You want to do these 3-year contracts. You want to give them a bunch of guaranteed money and then say, we'll figure it out after that, right? Because nothing's guaranteed for running backs. These guys put the miles on them, and they deteriorate pretty fast. Luckily, the Lions having David Montgomery in the building is prolonging Jahmyr Gibbs' sustainability. You know, it's prolonging everything that he does, right? So I think that the way that the Aiden Hutchinson contract is set up is actually somewhat of a hint that they want to sign Jahmyr Gibbs, who's projected to make $19.5 million when he hits free agency. But in 2027, when he has that club option, you've got Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, both up for new deals. This is going to be one of those things where you are in a race to get your deal done before those other guys, right? They could keep him and pick up the club option and have him play under it in 2027, but obviously the Lions are going to want to get things done before then. If you look at the Aiden Hutchinson deal and how it's backloaded and how there's not a ton of guaranteed money comparatively to what the average of the contract ends up being those first few seasons, then why would you not sign up to get Jahmyr Gibbs under contract for 2026, 2027, and 2028 before the Hutchinson contract spikes up in 2029? I think the next guy that gets signed is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, despite him having that fifth-year option available. The thing with the other guys is Jack Campbell, who I think is having a phenomenal year, all-pro type of player. There's not really anyone I'm worried about getting paid more than him and resetting the market, because right now Fred Warner is the highest-paid linebacker in the NFL. There's not anyone I think could threaten that other than Jack Campbell. You've got guys like Quay Walker, Blake Cashman, Patrick Queen, Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, all free agents in the next 2 years. I'm not really sure any of those guys are going to be breaking the bank and resetting the market. So I think with Jack Campbell, you can wait. Sam Laporta right now almost feels like the odd man out, even though he's gotten better every single season. I know statistically he had a down year in his second year, but he right now is the best blocker he's ever been. He's the most complete player. He's got the yak back in his life. But again, you can wait on Sam Laporta with Bowers and Warren, the guys who are going to reset the market both a few years behind him. But it feels like Sam Laporta is somewhat the odd man out because of the Jamison Williams contract. And then with Brian Branch, again, I just don't know what safety is resetting the market now that Kyle Hamilton has been paid. So I think it's Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyle. I think Gibbs is the next guy they want to get under contract as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm just trying to debate if the whole Montgomery situation is a positive towards that or not. Like if that's a reason to believe why they would re-sign Gibbs or if it's not. Because we've seen in recent years, and by recent years I truly do just mean like in the past year or two, this resurgence of basically second contracts for running backs. This has been a thing for a while now where it's like, yeah, you let these guys play out their initial contract, maybe you give them a year or two deal, and they're kind of just on one-year deals for the rest of their career, and then all of a sudden you just draft their replacement, even if they're really good. We saw it with Saquon Barkley with the Giants. We even saw it at the end of, I know this is not his second contract, but Derrick Henry at the end of Tennessee. They go to these other teams, they find themselves in better situations, and now they've gotten extended. Christian McCaffrey, the same thing. Jonathan Taylor has now gotten extended. So this whole like idea of running backs can't be paid past their fifth season in the NFL has been debunked in the last year or two.
Right, their Zoom meeting worked.
Sure, yeah.
Remember that?
That is right. I forgot about that. Yeah, the running, I mean, they're still like obviously extremely underpaid as far as positional-wise in the NFL and how important they are and impactful to a game. But
I mean, Barkley just got $41 million over 2 years.
Sure.
So that's fine money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whatever. It's fine money. But anyway, I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's Isaiah Stewart money. But at the end of the day,
a good way to think about it.
At the end of the day, though, like the running backs do get paid now. And so as you look at the top of the running backs in the NFL, a guy like Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs being in the same rookie class, the Falcons are going to prioritize paying him over anybody. And so the Lions kind of are going to have to wait to see how that contract goes down with Bijan, whatever you want to call him, in Atlanta. So when you compare that to the guy who I think they're going to pay first in Brian Branch, because I think the positional question mark of Brian Branch, it makes it almost easier to pay him. Does that make sense?
The positional question mark, because he's not a true safety? Because
I mean,
he's like kind of plays this hybrid.
He is a true safety. Like he is the safety, but you're right. He's not like a traditional safety by any means. He's not the Kirby Joseph or anything.
No,
and
he's the queen on a chessboard.
Right.
You can put him anywhere.
But he's also so crucially important to this defense. And so I think that you add in the fact of what position does he really play? Well, that almost makes it easier to pay him because he's not going to demand this high top dollar like compared to the top positions, top paid players at this position, top paid players at this position.
Well, Brian Branch is projected more money on Spotrac than Gibbs is. Brian Branch is $20.5 million. Gibbs is $19.5 million.
Right. I mean, because running backs are, like I said, they're more underpaid than nearly every other position in the NFL at the top guys. So I see the argument for Gibbs. Nonetheless, though, I mean, we don't think that neither of these guys get extended, right? Like Gibbs and Branch both get extended. They figure out ways to get both of those guys pen on paper, right?
I'd throw Jack Campbell into that conversation too. I don't know how Jack Campbell can't get extended. He's one of your first round picks, and he's hit in every way, shape, and form.
And Anzalone didn't get paid.
And Campbell's also one of those guys. Not that the other two don't, but Campbell like defines what it means to be a Detroit Lion. Like first one in the building, last one to leave, hardest working guy on the like just wants to understand the game, does everything right, all the little stuff. You can't outwork him. That to me is like just screams Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell type of guy. So I have zero doubt in my mind they'll get him under contract too. Laporta's the one to me right now that's like I don't know. Eventually, are the Lions going to run out of money? Because obviously Brad Holmes understands this thing way more than I do, and every time I think they're out of money, they get a new guy under contract. But like eventually they're going to, right? And right now, Laporta kind of feels like the odd guy out. I wouldn't have said that prior to the year starting, but Jameson Williams getting paid, I think, changes things a little bit, right?
Yeah, it for sure does. I mean, that was something that maybe we didn't expect, but also when you look at just the years that these guys got picked, like J-Mo had to get paid before those other guys did. Just from a year standpoint, you know?
Sure, but he also
Same
had that fifth-year
draft class as
option
Hutchinson.
available.
Correct. But they've shown time and time again they like to get out in front of these fifth-year options.
Yeah.
So that, I guess, could be your point to why you think Gibbs is going to be the next guy paid, because him and Campbell both have that fifth year.
Who do you think is going to be the next player to get paid? 989-837-6125. Is it Gibbs? Is it Branch? Is it Laporta? Or is it Jack Campbell? All right, we'll take one time out. We'll get to the news. We'll get to some of your Mint messages as well. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mint.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mint.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or pay-per wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Card to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
At Aired Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aired Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aired Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aired Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
I'm right there, coming.
Trick or treat.
Hello, children. I'm sorry. I forgot to go buy candy this year. Hey, don't be rude, okay? I'm forgetful. You're just mean. Now, hold on. I do have these 8x10 glossies of Bill Simonson and Anthony Bellino. Happy Halloween from the Great Lake Basin's home for sports. 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 989-837-6125. Welcome back into the show here on 100.9 The Mitt. Let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, Ben, let's hop right into the news. You talked about it. It's, Halloween Eve today? Is that what we're calling it?
Sure, if that's what you want to call it.
Sure, it's Halloween Eve today, so let's take a look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. There's a lot going on tomorrow and this weekend, so we might as well just dive into it now. Tomorrow evening from 4 to 6 p.m., you can trick-or-treat downtown Midland. Almost 30 businesses downtown in Midland are participating in this, so As soon as the sun starts to go down, which is crazy, it's setting at about 6 or 7 now.
Oh.
From 4 to 6, you can go trick-or-treating.
Are you and I hitting downtown Midland?
I think so.
Which businesses are having the king-size candy bars?
Right.
Gonna go figure that out.
Right. I'm excited. I can't wait to wear my costume tomorrow. Hopefully you'll
What
get
is your
involved.
costume? Are you not going to tell us?
No, you'll find out tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, let's talk about last night. The Pistons bounce-back win over the Magic, 135 to 116. They had a huge end of the third quarter and start of the fourth quarter to really turn this thing into a blowout. Big game from Cade Cunningham. It felt like their best win of the season so far.
Without a doubt, their best win of the season. Without a doubt, Cade's best game of the season. I want to get into some of the Cade numbers in a little bit. I will say, I've always been a Paolo guy. No longer. He made the list. He's on the enemy list now.
Yeah, he's always been on the enemy list.
Yeah, but I've always at least respected him until last night. Last night reached a level of oh, you want to play games? All right, let's play games. Here's another L. Here's your fourth straight L.
Right. Jalen Suggs, pokes Cade in the eye.
He punched him in the eye.
Right, yeah. I mean, he's got a black eye essentially this entire game, and then he stuffs him, gets his revenge on him. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. World Series Game 5 last night, the Blue Jays, 2 straight wins after that 18-inning Dodgers win 2 nights ago. 3-2 Toronto leads. They win 6-1 last night with the rookie Trey Savage throwing 12 Ks. He set the rookie record for most strikeouts in a World Series game. So Game 6 is on Friday now, back in Toronto at 8. Sounds like the Blue Jays might win this thing, Ben.
I don't know.
2 games at home to get 1 win.
Dodgers plus 200 looks pretty good right now to win this thing.
I don't know, man. Pretty weird to think that after how that 18-inning game goes, it's back-to-back dominant wins from Toronto.
Yeah, that's not at all how you'd think it'd go. But remember when Boston went into the World Series? In 2018, they went to the 18th inning with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers end up winning that 18th inning game just for Boston to come back and win the series. So I don't know. You win the 18th inning game, and history says doesn't actually favor you very much.
Not a long line of history, but it has shown that. You're right. So we'll see.
The Vlad Guerrero numbers just continue to keep getting higher and higher somehow, which makes no sense because they're already out of this world. His OPS is now 1337. 1337, and he's hit 8 home runs.
In the playoffs or World Series? Oh, in the whole playoffs. Wow.
Batting .415.
That's crazy.
Makes no sense.
Probably going to be World Series MVP.
Probably. I mean, if they win, nobody else even comes close to deserving it.
So we'll see. Like I said, Game 6 is Friday at 8 p.m. Let me get a quick check on the pitching matchup set for Friday. It is Yamamoto back on the mound for the Dodgers and Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays. All right, more news. Man, this guy, Austin Reeves, he can't stop doing crazy things for the Lakers. He dropped 50 the other night, and then last night he hits a buzzer beater floater against the Timberwolves for the Lakers to get back above 500.
No Luka, no problem, apparently. I thought this Lakers team was going to be pretty bad without Luka, and granted, they beat the T-Wolves without Anthony Edwards, but no Luka, no LeBron, and Austin Reeves has put the team on his back. It's kind of bizarre.
Like Greg Jennings.
Yeah, like Greg Jennings. That's right.
Yeah. Austin Reeves, sneaky top 5 in the NBA in points per game right now.
That won't last.
With just a bunch of superstars around him, and then it's Austin Reeves. Pretty wild. Speaking of out in L.A., that's where the Red Wings are tonight. They're playing the Kings at 10:30 p.m. You staying up tonight, Ben?
Ooh, 10:30's late.
10:30. I mean, even 10
I'll probably
is
watch
late,
the first period, but
10:30.
I don't think I'll be up for the entire thing. That seems near impossible.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night for the Wings fans out there. Looking to keep their win streak going. They've knocked off St. Louis a couple times in a row. Now heading out west, so good luck to the Wings. I don't think I'm going to be staying up. It depends on how the football game goes. If the football game is super tight and close and it kind of keeps me engaged, then maybe I'll catch the beginning of this.
Yeah, I'll catch the beginning of the Wings
Right.
game, but there's no chance I see the end of it.
No. Okay, let's talk about a bunch of NFL injury news. Obviously, we are ahead of Week 9 here. We got Thursday Night Football tonight between the Dolphins and the Ravens. No really injury news there. Lamar Jackson is going to play for the Ravens. But I want to talk about Carson Wentz, this whole situation with the Vikings. I don't know if you've seen how this went down, Ben, but apparently for the last 2.5 games, Carson Wentz has been playing with extreme shoulder damage, and that's why he had to get shoulder surgery for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of criticism and backlash via social media and via just players around the league talking about, I can't believe the Vikings just made Carson Wentz play until J.J. McCarthy was good to go, and basically we're like, we're going to run you until you die, and then you have to get surgery. Carson Wentz, though, is defending the Vikings. He said, nobody was forcing me to play. I was wanting to play through injury. So he's defending the Vikings' ways. But, yeah, for 2.5 games, he basically had extreme nerve damage in his shoulder, and he was playing through it.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. It doesn't surprise me that he wanted to play through it. I feel like he's one of those guys that's like, no, man, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of football players out there that are like, no, I'll play through this no matter what. And it's like, you're actually making the worst decision you could possibly make, especially as quarterbacks. Sometimes it's smart to just
different for
slide.
A backup, I think. Just
Sure.
because, like, when is Wentz going to get another opportunity? Like, this could be his last, so I get it. You're trying to squeeze every ounce out that you can.
It's like the same thing as, like, some quarterbacks just don't slide. They like, no, I'm going to pick up these extra.
Like Jackson Dart, the rookie.
I'm going to pick up these 2 extra meaningless yards because I've already picked up the first, and instead of us getting to the 34, I want to get to the 36. It's like, no, man, you should probably just slide and preserve your body. Otherwise, you're going to end up hurting yourself and hurting your team.
Right. So, obviously, Carson Wentz done for the season. J.J. McCarthy, though, is back. And we'll see, obviously, if Wentz ever plays again in the NFL, maybe next season.
Jaden Daniels, by the way, the worst slider in the NFL for active quarterbacks. He's terrible at it.
Goff is pretty bad at sliding.
Goff is pretty bad at it, but he avoids the big hits.
Yeah,
I don't
he
think
avoids
I've
big
ever
hits, but
seen
he just,
Goff.
like, his actual technique of sliding is like,
really bad.
God, be careful, man.
I think Hurts might be the best at it.
Yeah, Hurts a good slider.
And
Kyler Murray's a really good slider.
Yeah, the baseball background.
He's quick.
Mahomes is elite. Everyone gets mad at him for it, but he is elite at just like getting to the spot on the sideline and then just waiting to get hit and then stepping out of bounds and then getting hit and drawing the flag. People get mad at it. It's a skill.
But it is for sure annoying.
Oh, it's annoying, but like it's a skill.
It is. Yeah, I would agree. It's like, drawing fouls in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like it is a skill. Speaking of Jaden Daniels, it sounds like he's going to return this week for the Commanders. Just missed 1 game with that retweak of his hamstring injury. But Terry McLaurin, who returned last week, has retweaked his injury, so he is going to be out this week for Washington. But more importantly, Jaden Daniels is back.
Always good to have healthy quarterbacks. Again, Jaden Daniels, like I said, not good at sliding, takes a lot of hits. It's starting to get kind of concerning. If there's another injury at any point this year, all of a sudden it's like there's a lot of red flags all of a sudden, right?
Right. If I would have told you at the beginning of the season, Ben, that there would be the line on rookie quarterbacks to get play this year was at 3.5, the over would have just never been taken, right? 4 rookie quarterbacks out of this year's class, that would have never happened.
Yes.
Well, it's going to happen. Tyler Shook is going to start the rest of the year for the Saints. It was announced by Kellen Moore yesterday. Spencer Rattler is getting benched for the rest of the season. Kind of crazy.
It's Jackson Dart, it's Cam Ward, it's Tyler Shook, and who's the 4th?
Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, that's right. And I bet there's going to be a 5th. I bet Shador starts at some point.
Kind of crazy, though. We've obviously seen, like, Quinn Ewers has gotten some run, but I don't really count that. Riley Leonard has come in. Yeah, exactly. But Tyler Shook is getting the start this Sunday against the Rams. What a spot for a rookie quarterback to come in and play against.
Yeah, a defense that has caused mayhem for
in
quarterbacks
LA
all
as well.
season.
Just an incredible spot for a rookie quarterback to come in and play. Good news is he's like 28 years old, so at least he's got a little bit of experience under his belt.
Tyler Shook?
Yeah. So we'll see how he does this week for the Saints. More quarterback injury news. Falcons are optimistic that Michael Penix will return this week against the Pats. Obviously, you really hope for that because Kirk Cousins at quarterback last week didn't go so hot for Atlanta.
No, that was probably Kirk Cousins' last game, right? He was a disaster. The entire game. They had like 130 total yards, 200 total yards, something like that. He had 130 passing yards.
They got blown out by one of the worst teams in the league. Like that's never happened.
They got shut down by arguably the worst defense in the NFL with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. And I don't even think Michael Penix has been all that great this season.
But he keeps things moving in that. He gets the guys that need the ball.
Right. It's just like, let's just throw it to Drake London and Bijan behind the sticks, and that'll probably get us 24
and Kirk
points.
Cousins was like, wait, I can only throw it to Kyle Pitts? Okay. And that's all he did.
This guy got drafted how high in the draft?
I will throw it to him every time. Yeah.
This guy's our best player, right? We took him 4th. All right, 989-837-6125. Cold-blooded Cade Cunningham is back. I'll tell you all about it when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad, 989-529-8167.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mid.
The Mid.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education.
Mm-hmm.
That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
You guys ever see these AI videos on Instagram? Just pop up on your feed at all?
Yes.
There's this account called Artificial Intelligence Vids that I have just become obsessed with. And over again, it's just these artificial videos of a chiropractor. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
A chiropractor is like, all right. And then he just, instead of like cracking someone's back or neck, he'll like super suplex them like through a wall, basically. And like I never know if it's AI or not until that actually happens. But now it's gotten to the point where it's like, all right, I kind of know what's going to happen. Like here's a video of like a grandma standing up trying to get like her back cracked, and then he just basically throws her into the wall and she goes through the wall. I don't know why. I think this is hilarious. It's just this not that necessarily the grandma getting hurt. But
what is the point of talking about this?
Dude, these AI videos are out of control now. Like I see coaches at press conferences like just talking terrible about the other team. Have you seen some of those? Like Cade Cunningham throwing his own players under the bus. Like you can make AI videos of anything now. Yeah, and now they're just like populating all over the internet. Because when AI first came out, it was like, oh, like who has access to it? Now everyone has access to it. And I see these videos all the time of just nonsense.
Yeah, this is so exactly what AI was intended to do. You know, the chiropractor videos that's peak use of AI.
It like pops up onto my feed every single time I open Instagram now because I've gone down this rabbit hole of just watching them. I'm like, what's about to happen? I wonder why this chiropractor, and then, or like a dog will come like knock on a door, stand up, and then rob the place. It's just like the most nonsensical 30 seconds you can possibly think of. I saw a video of a mountain biker and a bear crosses the path. This was the first real one that got me. And he like freaks out. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And like slams on his brake. He starts yelling at the bear like, you know, if it's black, fight back, kind of like trying to intimidate the bear. And then the bear stands up as if it's going to attack and then just flips off the biker. I think it is so funny. I love it. I don't know why, but I can't get enough of them right now.
All right. They're pretty good.
They're pretty funny. Anyway, Cade Cunningham's back.
Yep, what a transition.
Yeah, thank you. Cold-blooded Cade Cunningham, I thought, was in full effect last night. It's been a very slow start for Cade Cunningham this season. Through the first 4 games, he was averaging 20 points per game, 7 assists per game. And then last night, he explodes for a 30, 10, and 6 performance with 3 blocks, 3 assists. There is not a guard in the NBA that is better at protecting the rim than Cade Cunningham. Again, 3 blocks last night. He has 6 on the season, which is tied for the second most of any guard in the NBA, only behind SGA, who is obviously the reigning MVP. He couldn't get going from the outside. He was only like 1 for 6 or 1 for 7 from behind the arc, but he was 11 for 16 in the paint. He felt like an unstoppable force going downhill. He's gotten off to some lazy starts where he wasn't necessarily engaged, or if he was, just like kind of started horrendously against Cleveland on Monday. He was 1 for 10 to open up the game. Yesterday was the complete opposite. You could tell right from the beginning he wanted to like imprint himself onto this game, and it worked. He was an absolute monster, attacking the rim, downhill. Felt like no one could stay in front of him, and even when people would, he'd just kind of bounce off of them and throw something up off the glass from, you know, the awesome angles that he works on. He was a superstar last night. That was the type of MVP performance we had been waiting for. Again, it had been a slow start, but if he's going to have more performances like that, it's going to be a team that I feel very comfortable talking about and happy talking about throughout the course of the season, because Orlando, that's a measuring stick team. It's one of those teams in the Eastern Conference that theoretically should be competing to be that 3 seed behind those 2 teams at the top in Cleveland and the Knicks. Well, Detroit beat their brakes off yesterday and was able to pick up a pretty big win to go above 500 on the season. I know I've gone kind of back and forth on this team, like, hey, they have some problems. Hey, look at the defense, look at the offensive rebounding numbers that have kind of projected them forward a little bit. Look, this team is far from perfect. There's going to be some frustrating nights, but to get a win like that as dominant as they did in LCA yesterday, I thought it was by far their best win of the season. And for Cade to have that sort of game, obviously it was his best game of the season too. Who would have known? All it took for him to wake up and turn into the MVP that he was last season was for him to get punched in the face by Jalen Suggs. That woke up the beast. That woke up the cold-blooded killer.
Totally. And I think the big part is that he had 0 turnovers.
Oh.
Like we talk about all these stats, great. The 0 turnovers is my favorite part. I mean, I do love paint-dominant Cade is awesome.
Yes.
Like when he is just finishing everything at the rack, when he's got that little post-hook move, because he's so good at posting up other guards, even guys that are the same size as him. He just is really... Like, he has a ton of finesse in that low post range for a guard, which
shifty.
is awesome. Obviously, he's extremely strong, too, which helps. But, yeah, I mean, the play where he blocks Suggs, and this is after Suggs socked him in the face, and he has a black eye, and it looks like he's got pink eye because his right eye is just completely red. He stuffs him, gets the board, stares him down a little bit, too, and Suggs, like, smiled and looked at him. Like, it wasn't even a Suggs thought he got fouled play. It was legit just like a, wow, I just got stuffed. And then he kicks it to Duncan Robinson, who drills the 3 in transition. Great game from Duncan Robinson as well, which is big. If we can get a little bit more consistency out of him, which, I mean, that's kind of been his case his whole career. He's just most shooters are inconsistent. That's just kind of how they are.
Yeah, we were spoiled by Malik Beasley just being awesome
just never
every game.
Being a bad shooter ever until the playoffs. Anyways, yeah, I think that if we can get a little bit more consistency out of Duncan Robinson, it's pretty huge. But it's nice that Cade finally took the top off, it felt like, in this game. Because I had been a guy that was like, he's going to score 30 tonight. No, he didn't. Okay, he'll score 30 tomorrow night. Like, I talked about him maybe averaging 30 this year. I knew it was going to happen at some point. It's tough it took this long, but it's nice that it actually happened against what's supposed to be one of the better defenses in the NBA as well.
Yeah. And to do it all mostly with Jalen Suggs guarding him, I thought was maybe the most impressive part, who's an all-NBA defensive guy, one of the best point-of-attack defenders in the NBA. Cade Cunningham kind of made a mockery of him last night to where, like you said, when he's going downhill and jumping up and kind of just, changing the direction or the angle that he's shooting at midair, he was doing that a handful of times last night. Like, how many and-ones did Cade Cunningham end up having last night?
He had to have had 3 or 4, and he had 2 or 3 right in a row in that third quarter run as well.
And it feels like once a game he's chasing someone down in transition now. And it happened 3 times yesterday. It's just... there's not a guard who's more explosive on defense that can go protect the rim the way that Cade Cunningham can. And I know I continue to harp on that, but I think it's part of the identity of this team that, like, nothing comes easy on this team. The Pistons lead the NBA in blocks per game right now. They are 3rd in offensive rebounding percentage. Like, that is this team's identity. Asar Thompson's jumping up and getting this team second chances. Jalen Duren's doing the same thing. And it's just tough to score on this team. They said on the broadcast last night that Isaiah Stewart had 44 contested shots going into the game, which was 4th in the NBA, despite him being, probably not even in the top 30 in minutes. So it's just this team's identity. It's going to be hard to score on them, especially when they run that 2 big lineup that we saw yesterday with Isaiah Stewart at the 4 and Jalen Duren at the 5. And Isaiah Stewart continuing to just be like this elite 3-point shooter, I think he's going to miss at some point. And it feels like every shot he takes just ends up being a swish right in the middle.
Yeah.
Pure. He's still shooting above 50% from 3. It's astonishing.
Yeah, his ability to stretch the floor has really unlocked specific lineups that maybe we didn't feel so comfortable about at the beginning of the season. Obviously with Ron out there, who continues to be very impressive so far to start off this season, and Asar as well.
The Asar numbers, I think, are really fun because Asar is much more of a facilitator right now than he has been in years past. And I think one stat to look at with that is the assist percentage. 10% as a rookie, 14% last year, and now all the way up to 22.5% for his assist percentage. He's facilitating. I thought that when he came down the left baseline yesterday, leaped up into the air, and then kicked it out to Tobias Harris, basically floated in the air for what felt like 4 seconds, kicked it to Tobias Harris, who was in the other corner, for a wide-open 3. He's just so athletic and able to draw guys into the paint rather quickly, and if he's going to be able to hit that like 8-9 foot turnaround jump shot that he's been doing all season, then he's going to drive in more guys into the paint. And that shot feels basically unblockable because of the height he gets on his jump shot, even from 8 feet away. If he's going to be able to draw guys in, that's going to be a form of offense to get some shooters open, like Tobias Harris, who had his best game of the season yesterday, too. Again, all it took was this Orlando team pissing off the Pistons, and they finally woke up on offense. Paolo was talking crazy to Tobias Harris at the free throw line to the point where they were both getting double techs, and then Tobias was not afraid to start going at him basically immediately from that point forward. Started attacking him on offense. This is the best defense I've probably seen Tobias Harris play since the playoffs. He was awesome last night, and I know he's not necessarily a long-term piece, but for now, he's exactly what the Pistons need. He's that veteran leader who can space the floor, get some of his own buckets, and fits that dog mentality that the Pistons bring to the table as well. 989-837-6125. We've still got our spread picks to get to in the 11 o'clock hour, and World Series and more NBA issues to get to when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Myth.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. Count on me for financial strategies that can help support a life you love. Because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. Contact me today at 989-832-8428, and let's find your rich.
Or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
We got a game, boys.
This week on Sunday Night Football.
The Washington Commanders host the Seattle Seahawks in an NFC clash. Seattle's 5-2 and 3-0 on the road. Commanders are in a free fall, dropping their last 3. Coverage at 7:30 Sunday night, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9. The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Myth is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Myth and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Myth.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back into the show here on a Thursday. We'll get to our spread picks in a little bit. But I do want to get to a couple issues that are the NBA is facing right now. Because the Pistons, it's been driving me absolutely insane. I've watched all 5 Pistons games this season, and each game it feels like the Pistons are fouling like crazy. And I'm right, because the Pistons are averaging 27 fouls per game right now. 28 fouls per game, which is the second most in the NBA. And it's driving me nuts because I'm sitting there on my couch like, can these refs just swallow their whistle? Like, some of these fouls are so tic-tacky, and it happened in Game 1, and then it happened again in Game 2, and then it happens again in Game 3, and it's happened each game since then. And I'm starting to think to myself, like, this is getting out of hand. Like, why do the Pistons get these ref crews that are so tic-tacky with the fouls every single game? Because it's been both ways. It's not just the Pistons are racking up fouls. It's their opponents are racking up fouls too. And come to find out, the fouls across the NBA are out of control right now. Last season, there were 5 teams to average 20 fouls or more throughout the course of the season, but 0 teams averaging more than 22 fouls per game. So those 5 teams that were averaging above 20 fouls were between 20 and 21.9 fouls per game, and that was the most. This season, through 5 or 6 games, there are 27 teams averaging 20-plus fouls. There's only 3 teams that aren't above 20 fouls per game. What is going on? Why is the NBA officiating so impactful in these games right now and not letting them play?
Is it all on the officials?
It's got to be part. If every official is through the roof calling fouls, at some point do we just say, or Adam Silver has to step in and say, all right, we have to just let these guys play through contact a little bit more. What's your theory behind it?
I think at some point it can't be 100% on the refs, right?
That's not what I'm necessarily saying,
right.
But the fact that it's up that much.
You're right, and I guess for that many different teams, that means that all the games are being officiated the same way. But I also just feel like early in the season, it's tough for defenses to kind of figure out how to play without fouling, without playing for so long. As far as we know how many good players there are in the NBA. There's a lot of talented scorers in the NBA. There's a lot of ways to manipulate getting whistles with up fakes and things like that. So there's probably a level of undisciplinedness to kick off the season defensively for a lot of teams and players. Probably not enough to warrant this. So I guess hearing those numbers is definitely shocking. What is the true reason behind that? Because we can talk about, the refs are blowing the whistle too many times, or I can talk about, these guys are just being lazy on defense and they're picking up fouls rather than just trying to play straight up and stuff like that. Those numbers, though, are kind of unexplainable, right?
Yeah. The fact that almost every team in the league is averaging what only 5 teams did last year in terms of the foul numbers, it's all right, at what point do we have to kind of look in the mirror? And I know Adam Silver's a little bit busy right now, but at what point do we have to look in the mirror and be like, all right, guys, the old heads are kind of making a point right now that the NBA is soft. We have to let them play through contact a little bit more. And I thought this was just a Pistons issue at first because even last year, it felt like there were some games where they were just not calling anything on Cade. Meanwhile, Stu and Duren were always racking up fouls. And this season, to start the year, it's are we just going to call every piece of contact that happens when Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart lay a finger on someone? Because that's what it felt like. Come to find out, this is happening across the NBA. It's just not a fun product to watch if there's going to be 55-plus trips to the free throw line every single night. If you want to save your product and make your regular season more watchable for your average audience, this just has to be cleaned up because it's prolonging the games and making them longer and also just making it less fun of a watch.
That's what I was going to say. It makes the game so much longer.
Right.
Which the NBA already has a major issue with that as far as how the end of games take 1,000 years.
Right, because you have to review everything. Everyone uses their challenge.
Right. Everyone saves their 3 timeouts for the final 2 minutes of the game. The ending of NBA games already take 30 minutes for the final minute anyways. And so then you add on top of that they're getting to the final minute much later because of the amount of free throws and whistles being called right now. That's the number one problem. Obviously it's not fun to watch, but the amount of time these games take is for sure the big issue. That's always been an issue, though, for NBA teams and just basketball in general. College basketball is no different.
Yeah, I've explained this before. If I was the commissioner, I think I'd just get rid of challenges. we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this replay review 3 times to close out every single game. We're going to try to make the decision. Or here's what I think about the NFL too. Like, let's look at it for 30 seconds, and if we can't decide after 30 seconds, we're just going to stick with it. There's no point in sitting there and looking for something for 4 minutes just to come back on the field and confirm that what you said in the first place. Like, if there's not clear evidence within 30 seconds, and I mean like an actual timer on the TV for the officials to use, we have 30 seconds to try to determine this call, then let's move on and get this game going a little bit further.
Right.
That's part of the NBA issue too, but also...
But at least in the NFL, they can only do that 2 times per side for each team. In the NBA, they ask for everything to be reviewed.
Right. Well, yeah.
My favorite result to that whole situation is because you see this gesture all the time. If you're watching on the radio, I'm doing the finger circle thing, which is the review it thing, or challenge it, review it. The players do that probably 1,000 times a game. Every guy does it at least once a game. I think it should be just like a timeout. It should be no different than if you do this gesture, the timeout gesture in a game, boom, whistle blown, it's a timeout, no matter who calls it, right?
And you use your challenge.
If any player does that, it's challenged immediately. Okay, you want to do that? Let's challenge it then. You've used your challenge. Because that will stop the players from doing that and all this delayed time of like, oh, should we challenge it? Maybe we should look at it. Maybe we should review it. That's like my biggest pet peeve is the challenge thing, man. It's like, dude, you know that was a foul. You know that was off on you. You're just doing that because you're allowed to. That's my favorite solve to that whole situation.
Yeah, my favorite's when NBA head coaches use their challenge in the first quarter.
Like JB Bickerstaff usually
all the
does.
time.
Yeah.
It's like, this is such a meaningless possession in the grand scheme of things.
And you know why he used it? Because every dude on the floor is looking at him like, you got to review this. I swear it wasn't off me.
And then it ends up being off of that person
right,
every
exactly.
time. That's part of the problem, too, how long these games are taking. Because I don't think there should ever be an NBA game that goes 3 hours unless it goes into 3 overtimes. 2.5 hours should be like the time frame that you're aiming for if you're the NBA.
Yeah, that Pistons game was almost 3 hours last night. And it was a blowout by the start of the fourth quarter.
But the NBA already has an issue with people trying to tune in for the regular season. Like, you and I are the minority. We love watching regular season hoops. We're NBA guys. I'm tuned into as many Pistons games as I possibly can throughout the course of the year. I watch as many other games as I can on nights that the Pistons aren't playing. Most people aren't doing that. Most people are following the NBA through the highlights they see on Instagram, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's just how people are getting their information. They see the news. It's a headline-based sport right now. If you really want people to start watching your product again, the fouls can't be as high in volume as they are right now because it just makes the product boring for 2.5 hours. It just bogs down the game. That's what it does. And it's not fun to watch SGA shoot 24 free throw shots throughout the course of the night. And look,
it's not fun to watch anybody do that.
No, and I'm not like just single-handedly picking out SGA. He's an incredible player who's skilled at drawing the foul, but I mean, no one should be shooting 24 free throws a game unless it's like Giannis, who just like
Giannis is different. Yeah.
Giannis is a little different.
You literally
You're right.
just have to follow him.
Right.
But I also think that it comes down to my point of like these guys just it's so difficult to defend those guys. Like a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's such a skilled offensive player that you are just going to follow him because of how much he's able to manipulate you as a defensive player.
Yeah, he lives rent-free in everyone's brain. Like you trying to guard him, you're in your own head immediately. Same thing, well, like Wemby's getting to that point too where it's like people have no idea how to guard him to the point where they're so psyched out in their own head that they're going to pump fake on, or they're going to bite on any pump fake, any jab step or anything. And then when you get in the air, it's like these guys are good enough to get to the line every single time.
Even, like, think about this. So last season, there was one player above 9 free throw attempts per game.
Giannis.
He was at 10.6, which is much higher than Shai was second at 8.8. How many guys this season, Ben, do you think are above 9 free throw attempts per game?
Double digits.
Yeah, it's 11. 11 guys. There was one last year. That's crazy.
That's too big of a jump for me to say. Like, I agree with you. The NBA players are more skilled now. They can get to the line.
But not from 1 year difference.
That's too drastic of a jump for me to say it's strictly based on the skill. This is an officiating thing to me. Like, can we just let these guys play a little bit? And they did this in the playoffs, right? Like, they kind of...
They do this every year in the playoffs.
Yeah, they kind of put their hands up and say, you guys can play a little bit. Can we just do that now? Because it's getting kind of annoying that 50 times a game, the officials have to blow the whistle and say, timeout, let's reset because you just hand-checked him, and that's not allowed. It's the non-shooting fouls that are the worst to me right now. It's like you're just trying to defend someone or like.
Right, or boxing out on a rebound and there's a loose ball foul on that.
How many times yesterday were the Pistons and Orlando just tangled up walking down the floor and they were like, double foul?
Beef Stew and Wendell Carter. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart gets fouled out of the game on that play.
So did Wendell Carter.
Because of the double foul. Yeah, exactly. Like
let's just let him play this thing out.
And like I said, I do think it is some on the players. Like I think it is just a little bit of because you could argue maybe there's too much physicality and that's why there's so many whistles being blown. Like they have to call fouls because of it. I don't think that is the case, but that is an argument that could be made with some guys.
Feels like Duncan Robinson's like guaranteed to get 4 or 5 or 6 fouls every single night.
I think he's pretty undisciplined though. Like I truly
do.
I think he is.
Guys just attack him.
Right.
And then his only form of defense is to basically
have to
him.
play extra physical and hack, and most of the time they're going to get called because most of the time it is a foul. And so it's definitely a handful on the refs, a handful on the players, and that's what makes it tough for me to be like, I don't really know what the solve is.
I think you just got to let him play through contact a little bit more. I think it's kind of simple. Like,
and then we get more, but then we get more complaining, and we get more of and that's the stuff I hate the most is the begging
up
and pleading to the ref. We know that's not just going to happen. Of course, we would say that to everyone, you know.
And get rid of the challenge.
Sure.
I would just straight up get rid of the
just
challenge.
Make it like our rec league, you know. Call your own fouls. That seems to go.
What
really,
could possibly go wrong?
That seems to go really well.
Right. 989-837-6125. Hey, have the World Series pitchers changed how you think about Tarek Skubal? That's coming up when we come back. The 10 o'clock hour, as always, here on the show is brought to you by Corning. Corning's creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time. A global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphone to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, they're shaping the future. But it's not just about the tech, it's about the people as well. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Ironstack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronstackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Ironstack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m., thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on The Mid.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, From Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back in. This World Series has been fantastic. We've had some epic performances from Shohei, from Vlad, from Freddie Freeman, of course. But these pitchers, I mean, both of these managers are letting them go off the leash, stay on the mound. Blake Snell, Game 1, goes 100 pitches. Game 2, Yamamoto goes 105. Game 5, Savage goes 104. Snell goes 116. Yamamoto's gone over 103 times in this World Series, in this playoffs, 2 complete games. Snell's gone back-to-back-to-back games now over 100 pitches. Is it starting to change the way you think about Tarek Skubal and how A.J. Hinch doesn't really let him go over 100 pitches all that often? Only one time in the playoffs did he end up doing that, and he ended up going 107 that day. But even in that closeout game, and again, it's not Tarek Skubal's fault that they lost that Game 5. It's just not. The offense didn't show up. But people were a little upset he didn't go into the 7th inning.
Is it changing how I feel about Tarek Skubal, or is it changing how I feel about A.J. Hinch and the Tigers' way of doing things?
Answer either way.
I think it's more of that side of things than anything else. I mean, I've never subscribed to this theory of people being like, Tarek Skubal didn't want to come back out in that game against Seattle. Like, he was trying to preserve himself because he knows he's due for a big contract and he's probably getting traded and whatever. I do not that was people saying that was a Scott Boras move to get him pulled from the game.
Right.
I have never been. I think that's one of the weirdest theories of all time. Tarek Skubal is always adamant about staying in the game. You know, he wants to be out there more than anybody else. So I've never been. Even some people that are on the trade Skubal train, that's their reason why. They're like, man, I knew that he would have stayed in the game if he wanted to. Why? What is your reason to believe that? When has A.J. Hinch and Chris Fetter and the rest of the Tigers staff ever let their guy go over 100 pitches into the 7th or 8th inning? It doesn't happen. They just truly have never been that way. I understand that maybe we look at it as a playoff game. This is where you do it. We've seen Yamamoto have 2 complete games. You see Trey Savage go into the 7th inning deep into that game last night. I get it. I understand why you would think he should have went that way. But to think it was Tarek Skubal's decision, I'm out on that. So as far as reconsidering how the Tigers run things, one, it's obviously it's not why they lost that game. But I think if you have guys that can go the distance, you for sure should let them at this point in the playoffs. I think that's what we're learning. Because remember when, this was obviously the hot topic years and years ago in the COVID World Series, when Blake Snell, who ironically is now pitching for the Dodgers, got pulled in that game for the Rays when he was pitching really good because it was the trend. That was the big time, the peak of I'm pulling our pitcher in the 4th inning, even if he's gone 4 innings, no hitter. Because we need to get different guys facing different batters in the lineup or whatever. That was the peak of that. And ever since then, it's gone completely opposite now. Blake Snell goes deep into that game last night and wasn't even pitching great. Just because the Dodgers bullpen is not nearly as good as the starters. And Trey Savage was awesome and stayed in that game. So, yeah, I think that as far as what we've learned in the last couple of years in the playoffs in baseball is that you got to keep your guy on the mound as long as humanly possible.
Especially in the Dodgers situation when they don't really have true closers
Right.
in their bullpen. They're using starters in that role right now.
But even the same for Toronto. Like, their starters are better than their bullpen.
Right. The difference for the Tigers, I think, was they had two guys that you could kind of count on in the back end of their bullpen. It was the middle that you didn't care about. But if Tarek Skubal could get you through 7, you typically felt good about Finnegan and Vest coming in and closing the door on a team. Would I have liked Tarek Skubal to come back out? Yeah, sure. But I also, for the most part, trust A.J. Hinch that, hey, if he didn't think he was going to be able to go stay out there, then pull him from the game. And if this is reason for you to think like, well, this is the reason they shouldn't pay Tarek Skubal, I'd say that's ludicrous because he's still the best option the Tigers have for the first 6 innings. He's the best option anyone has for the first 6 or 7 innings of every baseball game. I also have a hard time believing if we got to this point into the season and the Tigers were currently still playing, that they wouldn't let him off the leash a little bit longer and let him stay out on the mound, because at the end of the day, he's someone you trust more than anyone else. And if the Tigers end up scoring a singular run the rest of the way, I don't think this is a conversation, you know? It's only because they didn't end up scoring a run that we have to bring this up and continue to talk about it.
Right.
It's like, what happened if Tarek Skubal would have stayed out there? I don't know. What happened if Riley Green doesn't strike out?
What happened if
20 times?
What happened if Keith Torkelson and Riley Green didn't go a combined 0 for 16 or whatever it was in that game?
Right.
Like that. So that's not why if that would have been the reason that they lost, this would have been a much hotter topic, and I probably would have had a better opinion on it. But it's not, and so obviously that's why I don't. But the fact that, and I know that this is a little bit off topic based on what you were kind of started this segment with, but the fact that that is a reason why some people want the Tigers to trade Tarek Skubal, or that is like, oh, he just, I got a bad feeling. I've seen so much of that, Ben, of like Tarek Skubal pulled himself out of that game.
Or Scott Boras told A.J. Hinch and the Tigers that he's not pitching more than 6.
If Tarek Skubal wanted to be on the Tigers, he would have stayed in that game. No, he wouldn't have. Like, Riley Green got pinch hit for in the playoffs, man.
Yes.
There was a clear identity from this team of, like, trusting A.J. Hinch and letting him make those decisions and not being forceful about it. I'm sure Tarek Skubal would have loved to stay in that game. He came out and it didn't matter. Like, that's the part that's so frustrating to me. Why would you want to trade Tarek Skubal? Because he got pulled by the guy who does this. That's just what he does. If you want to be mad at A.J. Hinch and Chris Fetter and Scott Harris, whatever, that makes sense. Don't be mad at Tarek Skubal.
No. I'm getting progressively more and more uncertain with what's going to happen in the winter meetings this offseason. It's getting scarier and scarier, it feels like.
For Tarek Skubal or just in general for baseball?
For keeping Tarek Skubal in Detroit. I would love to say with confidence he's going to get re-signed. It's certainly not going to happen this offseason. But doesn't it kind of feel like if he doesn't get traded this offseason, they're going to be able to sign him?
They're going to be able to sign him?
Like, there's no way.
They're just like the option is letting him walk?
There's no way that ends up happening, right?
I think that, honestly, Ben, I think that's the most likely scenario. Out of the 3 scenarios of trade him now, re-sign him, and he just comes back next season and they try to win it all next year and then he walks, I truly think that's the most likely scenario.
What would hurt worse? Obviously, that's worse from an organizational standpoint to not get anything back from him. But what would it hurt more for the Tigers to just be like, you know what? We're good.
It would hurt worse then. Like if they played out next season and didn't win the World Series and then he walks, it would hurt worse at that moment. But I think trading him away without giving yourself one more final chance to win it with him would hurt the most for me.
I don't know if I could like
re-signing him would hurt the most actually.
If the Tigers do end up trading him at these winter meetings, like I'm being pretty dead serious when I say I don't know if I could still like be a true fan at my heart for the foreseeable future. Like to truly be a fan
I'm with you.
Of a team that just decides like, you know what, we're not going to try to go all in on this. We have the best pitcher in the world, but we're going to trade him away. That's just the most loser mindset I think you can possibly have. And if my owner's going to be doing that and telling us like winning's not the priority here, like we just aren't going to pay to try to get into the World Series, I don't know if I can still do this on a day-to-day basis and have the passion that I do. Like we'll still talk about them, don't get me wrong, but like I just don't know if I can.
They'll still be good like next season with or without Tarek, especially if they do trade Skubal. Like
I don't know. They're like a 500 team in the past 2 years.
But I mean, like you're
going
to get
Skubal on the mound.
If you do trade him, you are going to get a big leaguer. plus prospects. Like, you're going to get someone that is going to help the team.
Yeah, I just don't know if I
But
can
I'm with
emotionally invest myself into
Right.
a season the way that I let my emotions get the best of me of like every win and loss throughout 162 games when it's like
most definitely.
I'm angry, I'm happy. Then it's going to become more reactionary because if they punt away on a Tarek Skubal season and trade him away before the season even starts, like that just screams to your fan base. It's like, yeah, we're going to try to be good, but we're never going to try to be great.
Right. And I understand that maybe that's the mentality you have to have if you're Scott Harris, but for Chris Ilitch, it's obviously a much different story. I thought we just were going to get the worst timing ever right there because I got a breaking Jeff Passan report as we were talking about that, but it was the Nationals have hired their new manager. So
well, maybe that'll be in the news a little bit later on. When we come back, we'll hit the a trip around the league. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mint.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
The Washington Commanders host the Seattle Seahawks in an NFC clash. Seattle's 5-2 and 3-0 on the road. Commanders are in a free fall, dropping their last three. Coverage at 7:30 Sunday night, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mid.
The Mid. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mid is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mid and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
for mentoring my coaches so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. It's hour number 2 of the Ben Bosscher Show. We'll get to the spread picks coming up in a little bit. Until then, I think it's time to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, here's what I've got for you today, Kyle. The Athletic puts out this playoff picture simulator where they give an odds based on like a simulation on who's the most likely to make the playoffs, and they give a percentile chance or a percent chance for every single team make the playoffs, win the Super Bowl, win their division, first round bye, etc.
Okay.
I want you to tell me who you think is the most likely team, according to this, to make the playoffs.
Okay, just most likely to make the playoffs. So, to me, it's got to be the lone one-loss team in the NFL. Well, I guess Green Bay is one loss. I don't really count them. Stupid ties. It's got to be the Indianapolis Colts, right?
It's actually both of those teams. I would have taken either answer.
Okay.
97% chance the Colts and the Packers individually both make the playoffs.
I think that's too high for Green Bay based on the division. Because at least the Colts, like, they just have that division wrapped up, essentially. They would take an extreme downfall. Whereas Green Bay, like, once
I don't
you
think
get...
they have the division quite wrapped up.
They have it more than
Got
Green
some
Bay
tough
does,
schedules
though.
coming up.
You know, I think they have it more than Green Bay does.
Yes.
Obviously,
because I still think the Lions are favorites to win the North.
Right, and I still think like even the Bears with their schedule have a chance to be in the race for it. I don't personally love them, but they are 4-3 at the end of the day. So
the thing with the Packers is they still have to play the Eagles a week from Monday. Luckily for them, that's at home. They still have to play the Lions on Thanksgiving. They still have to play Denver in the altitude, and they have to play the Ravens.
Yeah,
a healthy Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, who are going to be fighting for their playoff lives the week after Christmas or a few days after Christmas. So they've still got a couple hard teams coming up on the schedule, and I think that's part of the reason why the Lions are still favored. But I think they're going to be a playoff team because the rest of their schedule is like, I mean, they play the Panthers this week. They get to play the Giants. They play the Bears twice, and they never lose to the Bears. Vikings twice as well. A lot of divisional games for them left. They still have to play the Vikings twice, the Bears twice, and the Lions again. Still have 5 divisional games. So, yeah, Packers and Colts. Basically, this model's telling you they're going to be in the playoffs.
Which is fair.
I'm not going to go down and ask you every single team, but there is a team that's significantly above everyone else for the second best odds to make the playoffs.
Okay. Obviously, like I said, those are the lone one-loss teams in the NFL, so obviously it's got to be a 2-loss team, but I'm just trying to think who would have the easiest path. I would got to go with the Buffalo Bills.
They're 90, but it's another team in that division.
The Patriots.
96% chance to make the playoffs based on this model. It's the schedule, man.
Because of the schedule.
It's a joke. They play all the worst teams in the NFL. All the teams that are going to be picking in the top 10 are all on the Ravens or on the Patriots schedule. It's wild. All right, who is the team that is most likely to win their division? I'll tell you what, it's not the Colts, and it's not the Packers.
Really? Not the Colts?
Nope.
Okay, so
the Colts have an 87% chance to win their division.
I think I know who it is because this past week we had a divisional game that this team won, and then the lone team that's maybe a threat to beat them just lost. It's got to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right?
Nailed it. 91% chance to win their division is the highest. The Eagles at 90%. right below them.
I'm kind of surprised I didn't guess that because there's not a single team above 500 in that division other than Philly.
Well, there's not a single team above 500 in the South either other than Tampa.
Hey, that's a good point.
But they've got...
Wait, what about Carolina? Oh, they are 500.
They
right?
are 500, yeah. But still have less than a 4 chance to win this division, according to this model.
I would agree. I think Carolina's big frauds.
All right, let's jump all the way to the end. Who is the most likely team, according to this athletic model, to win the Super Bowl? They have a 14% chance, according to this.
So how much different would the athletics model be from just like the sports books model?
Vegas odds.
Right. Because those are the ones I trust the most, but obviously those are taking into consideration what people are actually betting on, so that's why Kansas City still remains the champion.
Right, there's a tax on
So
the
if I'm
Lakers,
thinking about this
the Chiefs.
model, which obviously plays into schedule and winning the division, because obviously right now the Chiefs aren't even their favorites to win the division, which means you have to go on the road much more in the playoffs. I would actually still give this to the Buffalo Bills.
No, my friend.
Is it the Eagles?
No, my friend.
So is it just the Chiefs?
No, my friend.
The Lions?
Nope.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me rethink here then. To win the Super Bowl, right, Ben?
Yes.
Just want to make sure I wasn't thinking about that wrong.
14%. There's 2 teams at 12%, but 14%.
And it's none of
tops.
the Bills, Chiefs, Lions, or Eagles.
Nope. The Chiefs are sitting at 12%. There's another team at 12% that you haven't named, and then 14% is the champ.
The LA Rams?
No, they have a 9%.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even like that guess. It's no team out of the AFC. I mean, there's no way it's the New England Patriots. I don't even want to say that. Is it there's no way it's the Colts.
They're a 12% team.
So it's them?
No. There's a 14% chance team.
Oh, Green Bay.
Yep.
No way.
It's Green Bay.
It's terrible.
They have the highest percent chance to win the Super Bowl, according to this athletic model. Austin Mox.
Terrible model.
All right, what about first round bye? Green Bay is one of the top teams.
Yeah, I mean, them and Indy probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What division you think is the closest?
What division?
Yes. Like tightest race.
Oh. Okay. This is kind of tough because it depends on how much they take into consideration the 4th place team. Because, of course, the NFC West has those 3 teams, all with 5 wins, Rams, Seattle, San Francisco. But then Arizona's so bad. And then you have like a division like the NFC North that is relatively tight. Same with the AFC North, but there's just some, like, just because of record-wise, they're relatively tight. I actually think I will zag and go, no, I'll go NFC West still.
AFC West. Chargers sitting at a 75% chance to make the playoffs. Broncos 77, Chiefs 90. So they are saying we think there's going to be 3 teams from this division.
I think so too. We talked about that yesterday. I think it's nearly a lock at this point.
3 teams from both West divisions in the North and the South potentially making the playoffs.
Well, in the NFC and AFC, you mean? Yeah,
yes.
I think that the NFC one's going to be a little bit tougher. AFC, there's just so many bad wild card teams that it feels like a guarantee that at least the non-division winners make it.
All right, so you already told me the Packers and the Colts are the most likely teams for the 1 seed. But in each conference, who is behind them?
Okay. Most likely for the 1 seed.
Yes. There's 2 answers you can give me in the NFC, both at 16%. There's 1 answer you can give me in the AFC at 9%.
I'm thinking based on what we've seen so far in this model, in the AFC, it's got to be the New England Patriots.
Yep, 19% chance, 1 out of 5 chance for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean,
if they beat Buffalo and sweep them and beat them at home, you got to imagine that they're probably going to get it.
Yeah. Think of every bad team in the league. The Patriots play them twice. Like, it's crazy to think about just the schedule that they have. So, sure, that makes sense.
These next 2 games...
NFC's got to be the Eagles, by the way, right?
No.
The Rams?
Tied with...
Lions.
The Lions.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. The Patriots' schedule, this Atlanta game, it's truly one of their toughest games, and it's at home. Then they got to play Tampa, so it's like, okay, next 2 weeks, not too bad. Then it's Jets, Bengals, Giants. They've got to play the Dolphins again. They got to play the Jets for a second time. Patriots, Ravens. are the two tough ones left on the schedule. But look at the teams they've already played. It's like the Raiders, which they somehow lost to, Miami, Carolina, the Saints, the Browns, the Titans, all the worst teams in the league. Patriots are just destroying them. How they lost to the Raiders week 1, I don't know. All right, that is around the league. Cade Cunningham, he didn't make his debut yesterday, but cold-blooded Cade Cunningham sure in fact did. He's back, looking like an MVP once again. Let's hit that game when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, my mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, my dad would always just, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program, visit 1009themit.com.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Into the end zone. The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm right there, coming.
Trick or treat.
Hello, children. I'm sorry. I forgot to go buy candy this year. Hey, don't be rude, okay? I'm forgetful. You're just mean. Now, hold on. I do have these 8x10 glossies of Bill Simonson and Anthony Bellino. Happy Halloween from the Great Lake Basin's home for sports. 100.9 The Mitt. When you want NFL football on the radio.
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
You know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins square off in the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage tonight, 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU.
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989) 837-6125. It was finally good to see Cade Cunningham last night. Obviously, we've seen him play 4 games, but I don't know who I don't know who Cade Cunningham was those first 4 games. That wasn't Cade Cunningham. That was Wade Cunningham, I guess. Cold-blooded Cade made his return yesterday. He was lights out. Looked like that all-star that we had for the most part last season. 30, 10, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Just completely filling up the box score yesterday. And finally, right out of the gate, was aggressive. Because for 4 straight games, we've kind of seen him take his time, just try to get other people involved. And he doesn't really turn up to level 10 until the fourth quarter. Had a really bad start on Monday when he tried to get going early. Started out 1 for 10. Yesterday, that was not the case at all. He inserted himself early on to that game. He was in control the entire time. It felt like the game was in the palm of his hands, and like very few players can in the NBA, he just kind of controlled the entire pace of it. Not just the pace that he was playing, but the pace of the game, how fast it was being played. He was in complete control and manipulating the defense, making guys move this way, throwing the pass that way. This felt like vintage Cade Cunningham. I don't know why it took 5 games for us to finally see this version of him, but what matters is he's finally here, and hopefully this version is the one that's here to stay. I'm not going to ask for 30, 10, 6, 3, and 3 every single night, but hopefully it's more like this version than what we saw those first 4 games of the season when the box score numbers, they weren't great. 20 points per game, 7 assists per game. Those were the first 3. Yesterday was obviously the exception, and he just balls out in every way. He, in terms of, I had this written down. Now I'm losing it in my notes. He scored or assisted on, where is it? Maybe I didn't write this down. Scored or assisted on what felt like over 50% of the field goals from yesterday. It was awesome.
Yeah, he had 30 points, 10 assists. So, that's just, at minimum, that's 50 points. So, then obviously a ton of those were threes as well. So, yeah.
47% of the field goals he either scored or assisted on. I did write it down.
That's pretty awesome. That's big. And so, it feels like we kind of get these, not slumps from Cade early in the season, but he's gotten off to slower starts basically every year of his career so far. It's not ideal, but we knew this was coming. We've seen this happen for the last couple seasons now. So coming into this season, we knew it was going to take a couple games for him to unleash that 30-10 version of himself. 0 turnovers. Did it take him getting punched in the face by Jalen Suggs? Maybe. I don't know. Did it take this rivalry game and being at home after starting the season on the road and then finally getting in the mix of things? Maybe. I don't know. But nonetheless, we got him back here, and that's what's big. Cade Cunningham is, we talk about all these things about the offense, and it's going to be difficult for them to create a ton of offense with Cade being just the main initiator and ball handler of this team. As long as he plays like the All-NBA caliber player that we know that he is, because he was last year, then they're going to be fine. It only becomes an issue when Cade isn't playing well.
Mm-hmm.
It's more likely that Cade isn't going to be playing well when there isn't anyone else next to him to take off pressure, sure. But when he's playing the way he is last night, the whole ball handler issues and creating offensive thing
doesn't matter.
It's out the window because Cade is that good, and so they just need him on a more consistent basis, which I think they obviously can get.
There's a lot of talented players in the NBA right now. I think there's very few that can operate the pick and roll the way that Cade Cunningham can. The way that he uses Duren and Stu for that matter, when he just kind of goes off to them, keeps a defender on his hip, And then when they roll to the basket, he will find them. Whether it's a left-handed pass from his hip above the rim, perfect spot for Jalen Duren to dunk it, or going to his right, just slicing a bounce pass right between two defenders to where Stu just has to catch it and he's already underneath the basket. The passing from the hip pocket and the elbow is
the one
pretty
lob that he
next
had.
level stuff.
I think it was an early fourth yesterday where he legit just flipped it, like you said, from his hip. I mean, it was below his hip. Just flicked it up there. He wasn't even at the elbow yet. Like, it was such a deep pass.
Yeah.
Duren's obviously so good at catching lobs. Like, that dynamic is great. It's a lot of fun, especially against a Orlando team that has a lot of really good bigs, at least rim protecting bigs. And so, yeah, I'm with you. If they can get that version of Cade going forward, a lot of the question marks that we have are not question marks.
And, you know, when he hit that hook shot yesterday, like the post hook from, I don't know.
That's my favorite.
15. But yesterday was different because it's not like he was a couple feet from the basket and put up a hook shot. He was a legit, 15 feet from the basket? It's like near the free throw line. He threw up a hook shot and it goes in. That doesn't surprise me that he's good at that because of how good he is at throwing the lobs, like genuinely from his hip.
Yeah, he's got
wild.
major touch.
It really is crazy. I thought we were going to get more Asar Thompson catching lobs, but he's actually been such a great facilitator this season to where, all right, if Cade's not able to get something off the first pick and roll, it ends up with Asar Thompson on the wing, who actually hit a 3 yesterday, and he's just an automatic, I can get 2 feet in the paint, and now that he's added this little 10-foot turnaround to his game, that feels like an unblockable shot for the most part, but now that he's added that to his game and people have to worry about that, not only can he do that, but he can collapse the defense, and he's just had really good vision, I've thought, this season. We've always knew that that was a part of his game, but now that he can actually feel comfortable getting the ball in the paint without turning the ball over, this is another form of offense that we've seen. I mean, his assist percentage is up to 22.5, which is by far a career high for the guy.
Right.
The pass that he had yesterday when he drove from the left baseline, jumped up, what felt like floated in the air for 3.5 seconds, and then found Tobias Harris out on the three-point line for a 3. That was like peak. I couldn't believe what I was watching. He's finally taking those steps.
For sure. And especially when, like you talked about with Tobias Harris, when he's having the games that he is, that makes things so much easier for the offense. I know that we're not going to get those games, the 20-plus points from Tobias on a nightly basis or anything.
No,
but
he was 13 per game last year.
Right, but I mean, when he does have these types of games, because he does, where he's just very efficiently scoring and he's getting his buckets kind of solo, because that's always how he's been. He's an isolation type of scorer.
Yeah, get him the ball in his spots, and he's going to be able to get
him on the
buckets.
wing, leave him alone, and he'll get a shot up, whether it goes in or not. I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But
John's not going to like this, but he's like Walmart Mello. Am I wrong? Like, get him the ball like 17 feet from the basket and just let him do jab step,
short
jab
step
step.
back, midi. Yeah, like that's kind of his game. And it might not be efficient. It might not be exactly what you want, but it is kind of what the Pistons need sometimes, especially when they have Jaden Ivey out and there's just not a lot of creation offensively.
Mm-hmm.
He's not creating for others, but he's at least creating shots. And if he's making them, then you have nights like last night where things go really well. It was nice to get Karis LeVert back as well. I think that was big.
Was it?
Just because, well, he just takes some, like, he is a guard. He's a guy that has the basketball. I think just having that guy on the floor in general is big.
Yesterday, to me, was like Pete Karis LeVert, like, hey, here's what everyone else is doing, and here's what I'm doing. I didn't love the Karis LeVert minutes yesterday.
Right, but I think they need that, though. Like, they just need a guy out there to fill that role, to take some alleviation off of Cade.
Sure.
Obviously, he's going to have nights where it's just not there, which you could say last night was. He really didn't get a ton of run last night anyways.
No.
But how about Javonte Green, though?
Yeah, I wasn't a
some
huge
tray
fan
balls.
of him at the beginning of the season, but yeah, he's been a nice piece for the Pistons this season. Just kind of playing aggressive defense, hitting the 3 ball. One of the most shocking parts of this season to me has been Ron Holland, who comes down with a ferocious dunk on the baseline yesterday. I did see a couple times yesterday he was a little afraid to shoot, like didn't want to take the first one, which hasn't been the case for the first 4 games of the season, but had missed a couple in a row to open up the game and from Monday as well. And then I think got a little hesitant to shoot. I just want to see him with all the comfortability in the world shooting that ball, because then you'll get what happened yesterday where someone attacks him, he attacks the closeout himself, jab steps one way, goes the other way, and just open lane, he comes down and ferociously throws one down. He's been a revelation for the Pistons this season, on both sides of the ball, really.
Oh, totally. I mean, he's just so good in transition, and I think the havoc that he causes defensively leads to a lot more of those transition opportunities. I thought he was shooting better from 3 than he actually is. He's only shooting 33% right now from 3.
Well, the fact that he's even willing to take them.
I thought it was higher, but yeah, you're right. I mean, the attempts is definitely where that number has been absolutely bolstered this season. 4.2 attempts from 3 this season.
Yeah, and he could hit
1.9 last year.
And if he goes 2 for 4 this upcoming game on Friday, it's like, okay, the season percentage probably skyrockets to 40.
Right.
Because he was in a little bit of a cold stretch before that started. But yeah, you're right. The defensive mayhem that him and Asar Thompson can have together, and they did that lineup again yesterday of him, those two together, and Isaiah Stewart. And it's just like instant defense leading to offense. It's weird. But it makes sense because of all the turnovers that they generate and Stu's ability to stretch the floor, which I just can't believe what I'm watching with him. Not only can he stretch the floor, but like it just feels like every shot he takes from the outside is going in right now.
He feels more comfortable than he did even 2 years ago, that great stretch he had from deep when he was actually playing with Duren a ton at the end of Monty Williams' lone season. Like he feels much more comfortable even than he was then. Which is awesome. I mean, it really unlocks a lot of things for this team.
Yeah, especially considering the way that the NBA has gone. Like, they had to do 2 bigs versus Cleveland. Obviously, that game didn't work out. They're going to have to do it against New York as well. And then yesterday, it's like, hey, Tobias Harris had a couple struggles with Paolo early, ended up doing a great job on him in the second half of the game. But it's like, all right, let's just bring in Isaiah Stewart, and Paolo's going to, like, spiral out of control because he's so frustrated because Isaiah Stewart's this beast of a human being that is rejecting him at the rim nonstop.
Remember when everybody was complaining about that Isaiah Stewart extension?
Who was complaining?
Pretty great deal.
I don't know who was complaining about. Not me. No complaining from me
I
on
wasn't
that
saying
extension.
you were, but there was a lot of Pistons fans that were.
Yeah, the Pistons are. There's going to be some frustrating moments throughout the course of the season, but I think that 3 spot is up for grabs. We'll see how I feel about it after the next couple games. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. More on Brad Holmes when we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. Hour number 3 presented by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter they can make sure you're covered at every stage of life. We're almost there. It's the NFL spread picks coming up at 11:15. John Vicari is going to join us momentarily because Brad Holmes has been a revelation for this Lions team from top to bottom. I truly can't believe how he's able to get all of these deals done. Aiden Hutchinson obviously being the most recent example of them. Not every team in the NFL is able to do this, and somehow Brad Holmes makes it look pretty easy. What's up, John?
What's up?
For anyone watching on the YouTube, you can kind of see the construction going on behind John because in the process of getting a new studio here.
Yeah, I had
somewhat exciting.
I had to move a lot of stuff. Some of the memorabilia that was on the wall, so it's all dust over here. But the the folks at Blazy have done a nice job so far, and they've kept it clean too. We're in a construction zone, but it's clean as you can get with the limited space we've got.
We got some fun new equipment that came in yesterday that I'm excited about for once the new studio's fully incorporated.
Have we spoiled that yet on air or no? Have we teased it?
No, we can reveal it right now.
I mean, we don't have to. It's your show, but let's
I don't
just say
even think I don't even think Kyle knows what came in the mail yesterday.
Nah, this is news to me.
We're doing a drum roll. What if I was just like, no, actually, I don't want to tell
nothing
anyone. Yeah, no, we'll save it.
All right.
I'm just kidding. It's phones.
Yeah.
We got a couple phone lines coming in.
So you'll be able to call on the show soon.
Who's calling my phone?
Exactly,
That's right.
exactly. And that's how you're going to answer, Kyle.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're going to have to screen the calls, make sure a specific someone isn't calling to yell at us. And then
who's that?
I don't know. And then everyone else will be able to call in, give their takes. So not only will we have a MIT message line, we'll have a call line here pretty soon, starting to feel pretty big time. It's going to feel real big time when this studio's up and running.
100%.
This is going to be awesome.
The details, the blueprints they have laid out, it looks tremendous.
I look at the blueprints, and I can't quite make sense of them. My brain's like, no.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a big blueprint guy.
No?
I can't really read them great. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not. When I order something on Amazon and I have to build it, like I built a TV stand on Amazon. Like
nice.
Very simple instructions,
well, yeah,
right?
that stuff's easy.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, something about it, my brain just can't compute the instruction manual. Like, I try to wing it all the time, and that doesn't work out either. So I have to, like, step by step, like, a piece of C, connected, screw, A, and it just takes way longer than I think most people would do it.
Weren't a Legos kid then.
Definitely was not a Legos kid, unfortunately. Otherwise, that might have translated to being able to build a TV stand.
Yeah, YouTube tutorials help. You talked about AI videos earlier and how they serve the world no purpose. People actually, when they build stuff, are now smart enough to be like, you know what? I had a lot of trouble with this. Let me show people how it's done, and you help the common good.
No
whether
purpose.
it's TV stands. Yeah, no purpose.
No purpose. They make me laugh.
Oh my gosh.
The commercial break after Kyle and I were talking about the AI videos, I had one of a dog knocking on a door. Person answers the door, says, "Hey, are you lost, dog?" And the dog ends up being a fire-breathing dog and blows fire into the home.
Of course.
Incredible stuff.
You know what's so great? The current show you're watching, Game of Thrones, it's going to be so great when AI makes a better show than that. It's going to be awesome. With dragons and fire. I mean, did Game of Thrones have any fire-breathing dogs? I don't think so.
No. Fire-breathing dragons.
I just knew
that looked
John
pretty good
was
for...
have a take about this.
It was the thing that annoyed me most when listening today. So.
That's pretty good. I can't believe how good their CGI looks for being, 2012? Because I'm in the middle of watching it for the first time. And I'm kind of amazed at some of the CGI in that show. HBO kind of coming along.
A lot of money.
John's about to, try to spoil the entire thing.
I've never seen it. I told Brad this. I've only seen the last episode. I watched the last episode just to annoy people. I was texting. I was like, but wait, what does this mean?
You've only seen the last episode?
Yeah.
What?
This is coming from the guy who, when I met, was in the middle of watching Breaking Bad. This is 2.5 years ago, and still to this day is in the middle of watching Breaking Bad.
I watched an episode 2 nights ago, so we're getting close.
What do you,
we got 4 left.
One a month?
Yeah.
We got 4 left.
4 episodes in total of the show left?
Yes.
2.5 years later.
Dude, I'm a busy boy. I mean, come on. They're hour-long episodes, or at least over 45, right? Without commercials, I guess.
They're like 42.
Yeah, it's tough.
I
also want to be fully present for them too. If I'm exhausted, I want to get, I don't have to be at full energy or whatever, but I don't want to be.
It's not a background show.
No,
you got to pay attention.
No,
we have internal debates in the office of like, what does John do when he's not here at the office?
I work,
and it's clearly not binge watch Breaking Bad.
No, I'll finish it soon though. My goal is before Christmas.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like enough time.
Hopefully that could happen. There's so much good sport. Like last night, I'm not going to watch Breaking Bad. I'm going to watch the World Series. I threw on a little Pistons too. You know?
It's tough right now. Luckily the show ends for Kyle and I at noon, and I can go squeak one in before the gym, before like the real like the sports start, because I can't watch it at night. What'd you say over there?
Nothing.
Yeah, that was great phrasing, right, Kyle?
What'd I say?
Nothing. Keep going.
Continue.
Did I have a pause moment?
Just continue. Yeah.
Did I have a pause moment? Okay.
Just in our minds, because we have brain rot, me and Kyle.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Who is that, Drewski?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was.
All right. So we opened the show talking about Brad Holmes because we're kind of in disbelief that he's able to get all these deals done with no contract disputes. We've seen the Niners have contract disputes. We've seen the Rams. We've seen the Chiefs with Chris Jones. We've seen the Ravens with their own quarterback. All these premier NFL programs, NFL organizations, even the best of the best run into contract disputes once in a while, and that's kind of the only downside of drafting so many good players. The thing is, though, Brad Holmes just hasn't run into an issue with drafting the great players because he's able to get all these guys under contract, Aiden Hutchinson being the most recent example of it yesterday, becoming the highest paid player in NFL history for a non-quarterback in terms of the guaranteed money, $141. And I think sometimes we're taking it for granted, and it's funny because over the last year, it's like, yeah, who's not going to get paid? Like, I've always kind of thought it was J-Mo, and then suddenly it's like, maybe it's Laporta. Now I'm starting to think to myself, am I just dumb? And Brad Holmes is a genius, and he's going to be able to get all these guys under contracts because this isn't normal. And somehow he's making it somewhat of a normal thing to just get everyone under contract before there's a contract dispute or a holdout or anything. And I'm not sitting here saying, like, your team can't comprehend what's going on, which is it's true, but like no, I don't think any team can really figure out like, wait, how are they doing this?
Well, I mean, part of it is the drafting, but part of it is also just, all right, you're paying the top stars what they're worth. It's not like there's a negotiation when Hutchinson's getting the most money. Also, too, they're not completely immune to contract negotiations. Was it an Anzalone who was in a contract negotiation the entirety of training camp?
First couple days of training camp, he ended up giving in
it was
and
a whole
practicing.
offseason, though, right? But they felt, all right, he's not a stalwart player, the franchise player. He's very good. We want him part of the defense, but we're going to negotiate a little. You're not going to negotiate with Aiden Hutchinson, and it all comes down to drafting. I think it's very simple. If the cap keeps going up, you nail the draft picks, you're going to have more and more money to allocate to your stars and be able to keep your core. Why teams lose their core is because they don't draft well or they don't draft well enough. It's rare to have the last, and I mean, we sound like broken records when we talk about it, but the Lions just draft better than everybody else. It's what it is.
It's
like
them and the Eagles.
It's
head and shoulders above everybody.
I would put them over the Eagles. I mean, I really would. I don't know. I mean, with Philadelphia, like there's been more trades to get some of their better players, like A.J. Brown. Well, they've drafted well too. I mean,
they drafted
their core is drafted.
very well.
Hurts is drafted, but
Cooper DeJean, most recent. Like,
yeah,
they
top to bottom.
They
though,
get their guys in the draft. They trade up and get
yeah,
the guys they like.
Top to bottom. I mean, round 1 to round 6 or 7. Detroit nails it. Like they just do. I mean, what was the one pick that we laughed at coming into the season, or at least I did?
Giovanni Manu?
Well, yes, but
Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, and immediate contributor day 1, game 1 has a touchdown. And I know he's not rookie J-Mo or anything like that, but he doesn't have to be in this system. But not a lot of teams nail even their first round receiver. Take mine for example. You ever heard of a guy named Jalen Hyatt? He was supposed to be a stud coming out of college.
Yeah.
The Giants still can't implement him in the offense, and Neighbors is hurt and everything like that. So they just I don't know how they get him to fit the culture as well as they do. That's something to explore. And there's just no misses. There's just no misses. So you could do that when the cap's expanding. You could sign these top players, no problem.
Well, it's part of the scouting report too. It's like, do they fit the Detroit Lions culture?
Yeah.
Like, and I think sometimes in the offseason we get frustrated with that, and it's like, why are you passing up on good players when, like, just because they don't fit the culture? And it's like, actually, I think what they're doing is pretty smart. Like, and I go back and forth on it, and I'll admit that. But like, you look back in the grand scheme of things, and it's like, how do they keep getting all these guys a hit? Well, they want guys in the building that fit the culture. And what I mean by that is they want guys who are going to be there to work, be there to get better. They're not going to draft bad apples. They do their homework on these people as people rather than just football players. And the people they have in the organization that are like pillars of leadership in Hutchinson, Sewell, and Amon-Ra just embody what it means to be a Detroit Lion, and all of which have been paid. So everyone that joins the locker room via the draft or free agency sees these guys working day in and day out. And it's like, okay, if I do my job every single day, show up to practice, I'm going to get rewarded from it, because that's what Brad Holmes has proven he's going to do to everyone. Even guys like Derek Barnes and Alib McNeil, who might not be top dollar for their position, but have certainly earned their money.
Yeah. And again, it starts with culture. It really does. And they've built it, whether it's Campbell, Holmes, all of them combined. We've had this conversation about who's more to credit for the culture, and it's just nitpicking. But
can I just say Sheila Hamp?
Yeah.
For bringing both of those guys in.
That's part of it, too.
She's the one that kind of constructed it.
Yeah.
Those guys were the culture is those two guys, but Sheila's kind of the one that was like, I want this to actually be the culture of the organization, and I'm going to prioritize this over getting the fancy hire. Because Dan Campbell was not a top 5 candidate that offseason at all. Remember who were
no one really knew who he was.
We all wanted Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Another guy, by the way, that I think would be a good head coach, but he went to the Jets. So we'll see if Aaron Glenn breaks that, though.
I think
Because Todd Bowles is a good
Saleh
coach.
could get a different
Todd Bowles
job
is a
at
good
some point.
coach.
Right.
You know,
Couldn't fix the Jets.
Couldn't fix the Jets. Robert Saleh couldn't fix the Jets.
Nobody can fix the Jets. I also think Saleh was kind of weird.
Pretty good D coordinator right now.
Pretty good defensive coordinator. Maybe we'll get a second job somewhere else. I've seen him circled to MSU ties. Have you seen that, Kyle?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome.
I don't think that's going to
Obviously
happen.
got the Michigan ties from Michigan.
From Dearborn. I think he might have been
at CMU.
He was never a grad assistant at MSU?
No, he was grad assistant at Central.
Okay.
But maybe he was at MSU. I'm not like super familiar with his timeline, but
I saw that one. I was like, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't really see a ton of the whole like NFL to college stuff.
No.
It doesn't happen as much as people kind of assume it does.
No. It happens the other way, and usually it doesn't work out. But it seems like Steve Sarkisian, there's like a real possibility that ends up being one of the top guys available this offseason or the following.
For the NFL?
Yes.
Really?
You haven't seen this?
No, I have not seen this.
There's been a couple of reports from maybe it was Schultz, so you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, that he was going to have some.
Man.
No, it's not. That he was going to have some heavy interest, and that he would also be interested in leaving Texas to go to an NFL team.
There's obviously been, I know we're not like doing a whole topic out of this, but
no, let's do it.
The Kelvin Shepard to LSU stuff was like immediately tossed out.
He shut that down today at his press
conference.
conference.
Okay, I was going to say, because I saw there was people even saying like, oh, he liked somebody's tweet that said like you should like Kelvin Shepard to LSU would be awesome. He's the best, and he liked it or something like that.
I thought you can't see what people like anymore.
I remember. I can't remember what it was. I saw something about it that he basically liked somebody saying, like, "Oh, he's the best." Like, but it was more so like saying he would be a great candidate for the LSU job, not saying like he should leave the Lions. You know.
Colton Pouncey, 1040. So about a half hour ago at their coordinator press conference, said this is a tweet from him: Lions DC Calvin Shepard on the LSU interest. Quote: I'm interested in beating the Minnesota Vikings this week. Says he has not been contacted by LSU.
Nice.
I don't think LSU they're going to go after the top guy that's available. Like they're going to go try to steal Lane Kiffin, not go after a defensive coordinator that has 1 year under his belt at calling plays.
Sure.
They're too prestigious of a program to settle
well,
for something
they're
like
not
that.
even letting the athletic director pick the new coach, so.
You saw that, Kyle?
I did. I thought about putting it in the news, but didn't really feel like getting political this morning.
That's classic, though. So classic.
It is classic.
To circle back to MSU, by the way, the Athletic said yesterday, because they just gave a name for each program, and then the ones that like are probably going to get rid of their head coach. And
Luke
they
Fickell, Jonathan
put,
Smith.
They put Michigan State. They put Pat Fitzgerald.
Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah, the Northwestern guy who got fired because of the hazing scandal. That's really the fit for MSU.
He hasn't been doing anything. Yeah, I mean
he's not coaching this year.
That is one of the funniest recommendations I think I've ever heard.
After what happened with Mel Tucker, we probably don't need another.
Yeah, that was their fit. I definitely wanted your guys' thoughts on that. I was going to share the article, but I was like, I'm probably going to be on tomorrow.
That's crazy.
So. What a wild recommendation.
They said he's got, And apparently he was a finalist. It's in the article that when they hired D'Antonio that he was the finalist.
I do actually remember that. Yes, I believe he was in the mix for that job. Yes.
So
he wasn't there for very long, right?
At Northwestern?
Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to jog my memory on what happened. It was like I know it was hazing, but it was pretty like locker room naked stuff. Is that what it was?
I don't know. If you want to get into specifics, you can.
Yeah, I'm not.
I left it in hazing
remember.
for that reason, but yeah, if you want to dig that up.
I'll find it after the show. Nice. All right, let's get to our NFL spread picks when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. John's with us. Kyle's with us, as always. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to cover you every step of the way. Locally owned in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. The team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. Yiter Insurance Group will be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Hi.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, it's that time of the week. It is my favorite time of the week. It is Thursday at 11:15, which means it's our NFL spread picks. This is like the trap line of the week. Why is it only 3.5? That's way too sus for me.
They're going to beat Jacksonville by a touchdown. I don't care if they have to go overseas to do it.
This is like disgusting football, and I want no part of it.
NFL against the spread.
All right, let's go over the standings real quick. Heading into the week, after a huge week from Kyle, he has made this a very tight race for first place. I'm sitting a half game above him at 24-19. That is first. Kyle is 23-19. I have one more pick than him. This is why we allow you to do minimum of 5, but maximum however many you want, so you can climb your way back into it maybe a little bit sooner. Me being a little bit more aggressive, having one more win is the reason I'm above Kyle. John, you're sitting at 18-22. Not too far behind us, but some work to do. Maybe you need to start doing more than 5 picks a week. Maybe.
That's my problem?
I don't know if we're quite there yet. But eventually you might need to try to make up some
ground. We're in
ground.
week 9.
More
don't worry.
picks
When I
means more L's, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. You risk more L's. I'm when I have to engage in 6, 7, 8, I will.
How many?
6, 7, 8.
Okay. Let's start things out. Thursday night football. Tonight, Lamar Jackson is back on the football field. The Ravens are 7.5-point favorites. Vegas is not messing around waiting for Lamar Jackson to get back up to speed. They think the Ravens are legit. They beat the Bears last week with Snoop Huntley as the quarterback. Now Lamar Jackson's back. Anybody playing?
No.
Nope.
Remember when I thought Atlanta was going to take care of Miami last week? That was fun.
Yeah, we're collectively 2-2 on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
We're about to be 3-2.
What?
I'm in.
Oh!
This feels like a classic Lamar Jackson statement game from the Baltimore Ravens. It feels like they pulled a little Houdini on us, similar to what the Vikings did with McCarthy, where it's like, he probably could have played last week, but because of the short week, we're just going to let him rest a little bit longer. Because remember, he showed up on the injury report as a fully participant, didn't end up playing on Sunday, so now he should be 100% healthy. In his career versus Miami, 4 games, he's averaging 300 yards per game, completing 72% of his passes, 14 touchdowns and just 1 interception. This is the worst version of the Miami defense that we've seen over the past 5 years. 28th in PFF, 26th in opponent points per game, 23rd in opponent yards per game, 27th in opponent yards per play. I think this is a statement win where Baltimore can look at everyone and say, you know what, if you doubted us, you're just flat wrong. The Ravens are back tonight, and not to mention, this could be Mike McDaniel's last game. I know we've said that for the last 7 weeks, but who knows? Could happen today if the Ravens truly do embarrass Miami. So I'm going the Ravens.
Okay.
They need it. I mean, they need it. Baltimore does, just based on Lamar being out in their record.
It's a must-win game for them.
Wow. Must win in week 9?
They're 2-5.
Yeah, it is kind of a must-win. I think I'll actually give you that must-win.
Really?
All right. If no one else is willing to play, let's go Niners-Giants. Niners only favored by 2.5 here. It's always goofy when the West Coast teams go out to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm noting that, and I'm out.
I'm out too.
I'm noting the fact that the Giants continue to have someone die on the field every single week. And so who's it going to be this week? I don't know. Brock Purdy's coming back. Giants got killed last week by the Eagles. I'm sorry, John. This is nothing against you.
Bad guy.
Niners got to win by 3. That's it. Coming off of a loss as well, and they're in a tight race in the AFC West or NFC West. I think the Niners take this one. Give me them minus 2.5. Favorites continue to roll.
Yeah, I by the way,
suspiciously low.
It's going to be the theme of my picks. We haven't got to one of my picks yet. We will soon. I think we're going to be rocking a lot of favorites. All of us. I don't think there's going to be many
That's been the
underdogs.
case the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Has it?
The favorites are
only favorites?
The favorites are like 24-2 against the spread the last couple weeks.
I went 4-1 last week, and my 4 wins were all favorites.
Yes.
The favorites the last 2 weeks have completely dominated their spread.
All right, so I feel better about my picks. I'm out on this one, though.
Chargers, 8.5-point favorites against the Titans. Speaking of favorites, here's a big one. And here's Ben playing again. I just noted, somewhat cautious about a West Coast team coming out east to 1 o'clock. The Chargers have already experienced this year, and they lost that game to the Giants, and I had them in spread picks. Remember that? I think this is a learning opportunity for them. They're going to be a little bit more prepared for it. This Titans team, I don't know how they're not double-digit favorites literally every single week that they play. Double-digit underdogs every week that they play. Of the 8 games they've played, they've lost by double digits 6 times. And they have 1 win. So the 1 win didn't count, and then they had 1 game where they kept it within 10. They get blown out every single week. Meanwhile, Los Angeles is averaging 29 points per game the last 3 weeks. Tennessee's only cracked 20 twice this season. So I'm going to rock with the Chargers here in another blowout. Tennessee is 4-21 against the spread the last year and a half, which is almost like impossible, but somehow they are.
Right.
Tennessee defining new ways to lose. Yeah, I'm go Chargers go too. I'm picking L.A. Derwin James, who was a question mark. He practiced yesterday, so he should be good to shore up their defense. And favorites keep rolling. I'm going to go with Chargers minus 8.5. I don't care if it's on the road.
John, when you and I agree, we're 7-8, so not great.
All right.
Not bad. When me and Ben agree, though, it's pretty good. Look, here's why I'm not in on this game. There's a theme going around the internet right now that to solve the U.S. national debt, put all of it on the Titans to not cover. That's essentially become like a meme that's going around. So to me, that screams the Titans are about to cover. But obviously, I would never pick that, so I'm staying away from it.
Wow.
If we lose this game, I think it has to be added to the Ben's Book of Bible to just stay away from West Coast teams coming out east for 1 o'clock games.
The more you add, the less you're going to have to pick every
you're
week.
limiting yourself.
You're limiting yourself.
No,
You've had to have bet against your rules at least one time,
Nope.
like on accident.
You have to buck trends.
I do not. Because it's not all NFL related. Vikings. 8.5-point dogs in Ford Field. The Lions are 8.5-point favorites. Lions play at 1 this week for the first time in what feels like a month.
Weird.
Kyle, you're 2-5 against the spread with the Lions.
I'm really bad with the Lions picks. I don't know what it is. Every time I go with the Lions, they don't cover. Every time I go against them, they do. It's bad.
John, you're 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5-2. We have to play the Lions.
Correct.
Kyle, kick us off.
We talked about this early in the show, or early in the week when we discussed this opening line. It actually opened at 9.5. It's gone down to 8.5. To me, division game, other than that final game of the year last year when it had all the stakes in the world on it, the Lions came out and destroyed the Vikings. These two teams play each other so tight, especially in the middle of the season. Last year when it was a 5-0 Vikings team against the Lions, it was a late-game field goal that Jake Bates kicks to win it. I personally just cannot see the Lions dominating the Vikings in this game. I don't think it can get worse than Carson Wentz, and they got blown out last week against the Chargers. I don't see back-to-back blowouts for this Vikings team. I'm still confident in them to be a potential playoff team going forward. I think the Lions win for sure. I think the Lions can win by 6 or 7, but give me the Vikings plus 8.5.
John?
No, those are all fair points. I will say this. You mentioned earlier, Ben, specifically about, how Lamar and JJ, the treatment from the organizations are kind of similar, where it's like, Baltimore probably could have played Lamar last week. Minnesota probably could have played JJ last week. I think there's some people in that Minnesota room that wanted to keep with Wentz. Just because JJ hasn't sold them yet. Luckily for JJ and probably luckily for the Vikings' future, Wentz got injured, played terribly on Thursday night, and they pivoted JJ McCarthy. And I'm confident in JJ being a good NFL quarterback, but it's still so short into his tenure coming off an injury. I have to see him look good before I'm going to put money on him.
Yep.
I know the Lions could put up points against great teams, bad teams, and especially at home. Vikings defense has played well against them the last couple of years, but this Vikings defense hasn't played like they have the last couple of years. You could look at last week against the Chargers team, and I would say the Lions have a better offense than the Chargers do. So I'm going to rock with the Lions 8.5. This is the first of 2 matchups, right?
Yes.
So I think that second time we may be talking a bit of a different story, but this week I'm rocking with the Lions.
Yeah, we saw last week on Thursday Night Football how bad Minnesota's offensive line was. I know Wentz got banged up with 5 sacks, but he was under constant pressure.
Yes.
29 pressures Wentz had last week. And he holds on the ball for too long, but 29 pressures, that tells you how bad the offensive line was. They're still without their starting center, Ryan Kelly, who's on IR. Darrisaw had to come out of that game after just 9 snaps. He was a full participant in yesterday's practice, so I think he's healthy, but still a lot of he was fully healthy last week, too, before he took himself out of that game. So
And
don't
has
really
been
know
injured
what's
for this season too.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. But I do know this offensive line is just not very good at all. And now that Lee McNeil's got a full game under his belt, Hutchinson's got the whole storyline coming into this game that he's got the new contract. He's trying to sack his college teammate and J.J. McCarthy. You got Brian Branch coming back. Hopefully Kirby Joseph coming back, which still remains a question mark. I think the Lions improved to 6-2 because they're constantly getting to J.J. McCarthy. Really tough first game for him to come back with.
Yeah.
So I got Detroit moving to 6-2 against the spread.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like being against you guys in this game because you guys have picked the Lions better than me, and you guys are together, and I'm not. Don't love it.
It's okay. John and I are on the same page this week.
It's okay.
Unagi.
So far.
So, okay.
That's good. That means a bunch of L's for you guys, a bunch of dubs for me.
Right.
That's what it was last week, Kyle. That's what it was last week.
Falcons on the road taking on the Patriots. We talked about it last week. The Falcons are very good at home, very bad on the road. You and I picked the Falcons last week. Part of me wanted to put an asterisk on that because they did a little swapperoo on us, and they were like, guess what? Michael Penix isn't playing.
Yeah.
And that
Or
was,
Drake London.
Or Drake London.
Yeah,
we
just
didn't
out of
find that out
nowhere.
until what? Friday? Saturday?
Yeah, Friday, and then we found out Drake London Sunday morning.
Yeah. So I still feel okay about that pick that we
All
made.
right.
I'm staying away from this game, though.
Same.
Yeah, no more betting Falcons for a while.
Correct.
Too much question marks going on. I'm out.
That's like the most Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team in the league, right? You just don't know which version of them you're getting
Yeah,
on a
I'm
week-to-week
all good.
basis. Patriots keep blowing teams out, but I'm gonna hold off on that. Colts 3-point favorites against the Steelers. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I really wanted to take the Colts here until I found out a very telling stat. I was all in. I was getting my notes ready for why I was going to take Indy. Do you know that Indy is dead last in the NFL in forced punts per game? Their opponents do not punt the football because they have a +8 turnover differential, which is second only behind Chicago. That is unsustainable. And Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback who doesn't really put the ball in harm's way all that often. That scared me off enough to say I'm okay on this game.
Well, that's the Colts forcing opponents to not punt?
No, to punt.
Forcing
they are
opponents
dead
to
last
punt.
in the NFL in forcing their opponent to punt.
Because they get
Yeah,
so many turnovers.
I was about to say, because they turn over the
That's
ball
what I'm
and
saying,
then they
and
score.
that's not
But
sustainable.
also they score at a rate that's great, so they keep their opponent off the field, and then when their opponent gets back on the field, they're down in a hole, so they have to go for it on fourth down. No.
Either way, it scared me off.
All right.
I'm still out either.
Yeah, I'm
either
out too.
way,
I
yeah.
just
I thought it was interesting.
It's a closer line than I thought. That's why I thought about taking the Colts as well, Ben, but I'm still out.
Okay. Broncos, actually underdogs on the road against the Texans. I was kind of surprised when I saw this spread, guys.
Me too.
It feels like kind of when no one was looking, just when everyone was like one step away from writing the Texans off, they kind of just slowly started to put together some wins. And now it's like, hey, when you forgot about us, now we've kind of put together a somewhat okay resume. We're playing a little bit better. The offense looks a little bit more in sync. What's been clear the entire time is this defense is absolutely lights out. When I was looking at that opponent punts per game stat, these are the two best teams in the NFL at it. This is going to be a low-scoring one. The over-under's 39.5. I'm going to stay away, though.
Yeah, I was really close to making the Broncos my sixth pick. The only problem with this game, and it's not my belief in the Texans' offense because there's not that, but a belief in the Texans' defense. They've been able to stop everyone with the run game, and that includes last week with San Francisco and McCaffrey not getting what he usually gets. Broncos need to be able to run the ball as an offense to kind of get Nick's working. I don't think they're going to be able to do that, so I think that's why the line is close as it is for a Broncos team that just beat the Giants and just beat the Cowboys, putting up a lot of points. So I'm staying away as well.
I'm not. Give me the Texans, all the reasons you just said. Look, Texans, This was same exact situation a week ago. Houston was 1.5-point favorites against San Francisco, and it was like, wait, Texans are favorites? What? And they manhandled them with that defense. Look, I think we get the version of Bo Nix we've gotten all season. Rather than the fourth quarter against the Giants collapse and then playing against whatever you want to call Dallas's defense last week. Like, I think we get what the normal version of Bo Nix this week against an actual really good defense in Houston. It seems like C.J. Stroud and that Texans offense are picking things up a little bit. Nico Collins might be back in this one. So I actually feel pretty comfortable with Texans -1.5 here.
It doesn't make you uncomfortable that the Broncos lead the league in
Pat
sacks?
Surtain is out as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Does it make you at all uncomfortable that the Broncos lead the league in sacks and it's not even close, and that Texans' offensive line is a mess?
Yeah, makes you very uncomfortable, actually. But that's okay. Give me Houston -1.5. Can't change it.
Okay.
Nice.
Bears 3-point favorites against the Bengals. The ultimate stay away from me.
The ultimate play for me. How about that? I'm going. It's not the ultimate play. I just wanted to one-up you. I'm going with Chicago -3 here. Cincinnati has just been miserable. I mean, last week they start out a 10-0 lead against the Jets. Bury them, man. You force a team that's so desperate for a win to go on it fourth down to go for it. Can't convert it, so you score. You're up 10-0 right away after your opening drive, sustained points. And then you just can't stop Justin Fields and the Jets. An unwatchable offense. A quarterback that has no belief from your front office at all in Fields. Put up 39 on the road. The Bengals are just terrible to watch. I think Chicago has found a stride with Caleb. I think they're able to run the ball too, which Cincinnati couldn't stop the run last week. They couldn't stop the pass. I'm going to go with the Bears -3 here on the road. It should be a line that scares you just because, okay, it's Chicago and it's in Cincinnati, but the weather's going to be fine. And this Bengals defense is not a threat. I think the Bears are going to come in and win at least by more than 3. Maybe they win by 4. Maybe it's close, but it's such a low spread. The Bears are going to win this game.
So you've liked what you've seen from Caleb Williams in their little 5-week stretch where they went 4-1 and lost last week.
Enough to pick him against the Bengals.
Okay.
I'm not in love with him.
Thanks for checking the weather, by the way, on this one.
You're
too,
welcome.
John.
You're welcome. Because then I'm like,
I don't feel very confident in Caleb Williams.
You know who
right
I don't
now.
feel confident in either, Ben?
Caleb.
Jake Browning.
Oh.
Because
There you go.
he's probably going to play in this game. Joe
Boom.
Flacco is injured.
Yeah.
And even if Joe Flacco does play, he's got an injured elbow. His whole thing is throwing the football 1,000 times to Jamar Chase, and his elbow's hurt. So whether it's Flacco injured or Jake Browning back playing, that's why I got Bears -3. That's my number one reason why.
Do you guys think it'd be better off if Cincinnati invested in like I don't know what the machine is called, but like how the receivers practice on those
Jug
a jug
yeah.
machine. Just getting a jug machine and just putting it back there and just throwing it down the field and hoping Chase and Higgins can catch it because that's
I don't know
basically
if you can sack a jugs machine.
Jay, just take out the legs. That's basically all you need, just a backup who could put it there, and Browning has shown that he can't.
He's terrible, yeah.
I honestly did not know that Joe Flacco was hurt, and if I knew that, I probably would have taken Bears -3 as well. Either way,
They said he's a 50-50 chance to play, which that to me means he's not playing.
Okay, let me ask you this then: if he was playing, would you still feel comfortable
because
taking
he's
Chicago?
injured.
Okay. Packers 13.5-point favorites, second largest spread of the week, going up against the Panthers team at home at Lambeau. Any biters?
I got 3 words for you.
Oh God.
Too many points. Give me the Panthers plus 13.5. This is too many points. Look, I've been out on the Panthers for sure. The Green Bay, they finally snapped their we don't cover streak. That comes to an end. I mean, they covered last week against the Steelers. 13.5 points to the team that lost to the Cleveland Browns. Wow. And we're just going to say they're going to win by 2 scores? I'm out on that. Give me Carolina plus 13.5. That's way too many points. Bryce Young should be back. I know he's not very good, but
he will be back.
He's fine, so give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm staying away.
Way too many points, man. This should be a 10.5-er.
Wow.
So
you're talking about the Super Bowl favorite according to that athletic model, not covering against the Panthers, Kyle?
Right.
Come on.
So I was actually looking at this game yesterday because I have to make a decision in a fantasy matchup of whether or not I start Bryce Young or Tyler Shook this week. Those are my 2 options.
What a league you're in.
Going up against Kyle.
Who's Tyler Shook? Is that like a joke name? Who is that?
That's the Saints starting quarterback for the rest of the season.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my! I feel better about my next pick. Tyler Shook?
Yeah. No C or K.
Louisville product, yeah.
Oh, that was the guy that everyone thought was going to be like, the guy who was going to be a first-round pick, right? Because he had a good combine.
Right, He was one of those guys that after the season ended, it was like, wait, but what about Tyler Shook?
Is this guy QB2?
Yeah, there was a little buzz on Tyler Shook being QB2. Here's what I was saying. So I've done a little bit of research on just like how the Packers have held up against other quarterbacks. They've shut down other quarterbacks pretty good. Only one time has a quarterback gone over 250 yards against this Packers defense that has been lights out. Quarterback rating of 92, which is subpar at best. Completion percentage of 67. I think Bryce Young is really going to struggle in this spot, so I stayed away.
What was the completion percentage?
72?
Oh.
No, 67. Oh, it was 67.
Yeah.
Most recent addition to the English dictionary. Okay. Let's do the next game, which is the Tyler Shook Express. Saints at Rams. 14.5-point favorites. The Rams are at home.
Yeah, Chris Shula, defense coordinator for the Rams. You got Sean McVay. They're looking their chops at this Shook guy that they probably didn't know existed until this week, too. I'm going with the Rams minus 14.5 here. I feel even better because I still thought Rattler was playing. It shows you how much I know. But I'm going with L.A. minus 14.5. I'm picking favorites this week, and I don't think it's too many points. It's a Rams team that's looked phenomenal, and they're just going to beat down on the Saints.
Yeah, I got 6 picks this week, boys. I couldn't lay
That's
off of
crazy.
this one.
4 straight games, Kyle.
4 straight games, I know. Give me Rams minus 14.5. Like you said, this Rams team was coming off of a bye and coming off of a blowout, going up against a Saints team that is starting a rookie quarterback that is making his first start against Sean McVay on the road in Los Angeles. I mean, what are we doing here? Give me Rams by 20.
4 words, Kyle. Not too many points.
Yeah, 4 words. Steve Nash. Anyways.
Jaguars 3-point favorites against the Raiders on the road in the Death Star.
I'm not playing it.
I'm out.
I'm in.
Ooh.
I think this Jags team needs a bounce back win. This isn't quite a kitchen sink game, but it's like a bathroom sink game. You know, it's like
Explain.
A kitchen sink game implies like we have to win this. If we don't, our season might be over. The Jaguars aren't quite to that level yet, but if they lose this, all of a sudden they've lost 3 straight. And then they lose after the bye, and it's like, okay, what's going on there? So it's like not quite a kitchen sink game. It's a bathroom sink game to me.
Wow.
Jaguars, like I said, are off back-to-back losses against 2 good teams, though. Rams destroy them in London, so I'm not really sure what to make of that, other than the fact that Travis Hunter, I think they're going to just start using him as a wide receiver solely, and that works in London. 14 targets, 88% of the time. 88% of the snaps he was on the field, and look at that. He has his best game, over 100 yards, scores a touchdown. I think we see a little bit more of that. Maybe even turns into the true wide receiver 1 over in Jacksonville because I don't know what the hell's going on with Brian Thomas. I think this is a perfect spot for the Jags team to bounce back against this awful Raiders defense that is at the bottom of the league in basically every stat. So I will take Jacksonville here.
For anybody that's not keeping track, John and Ben have picked all favorites, by the way, so far.
Yes.
That's what I've mostly done this season.
Correct.
But not a single underdog here. It's kind of crazy.
Not yet.
3 games to go?
3 games to go.
And of your 6, you only have 2 dogs.
Right.
Yeah, I can tell you right now I'm not going to be taking any dogs this week. That's fine.
Me either.
How is this not Sunday Night Football? When these 2 teams play, this has to be Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football or something. But it's not. It's just a 4:30 game. Chiefs, Bills. Best matchup we have in the league. Best rivalry we have in the league.
This will be the Romo-Nance game, though, correct?
It's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it'll
it's
still
a 4
be
o'clock
a
window.
national game.
Not everything has to be a night game.
Give it to Tarico and Collinsworth. I want to hear Collinsworth just glaze these 2 quarterbacks until for 60 minutes. Oh, that's what he'd be doing.
Whoa, Kyle, want to cut that up? Glazing, and then with that noise, cut that up for a nice 4 seconds.
That's good.
That should be on the. I was about to say the payoff
You
rewind.
would love this.
Should be on the Ben Bosscher show rewind.
You would love this.
I'm
he gets
out on
Mahomes
this,
and
by the
Allen.
way. I'm out
Yeah,
on
me
this.
too, Kyle.
Way too good of a game to bet on. I just want to watch it.
Same.
He is ridiculous. Give me Kansas City.
Yeah, of course.
Without a doubt. Buffalo, 3 best offenses they've played this year, Baltimore, Atlanta, and New England, averaging 26 points per game against them. Bills' offense has been good. But the defense, there's a lot of concerns with it. Since Rice came back, this Kansas City team has looked basically unstoppable. They're outscoring their opponents 59-7, 430 yards in each of those games, and they're converting over 50% of their third downs. I don't think Buffalo has an answer for this offense. I think Kansas City is the best team in the NFL right now. So if they're 1.5-point favorites against anybody, I think I'd be taking them at this moment. All right, Sunday night, Seahawks at Commanders. Seahawks are 3-point favorites. I'm out.
I'm rocking with Seattle here.
Wow.
Commanders just have not impressed me at all. Seattle has 5-2 against the spread this year, and I'm rocking with my 5th and final favorite, the Seahawks, on Sunday night.
If they can get to Jaden Daniels, I think that's the route for you to cover. We also have no idea if Jaden Daniels is actually healthy.
Correct.
Right. He's playing, but, yeah, is he healthy?
That's a stay away from me.
Yep, I'm out.
All right, Monday Night Football, Cardinals at Cowboys, a suspiciously low line considering the Cardinals haven't had any sort of success since the first 2 weeks of the season when they beat the Panthers and Saints. But the Cowboys are favored by just 2.5 at home in Jerry World.
Well,
Did you
Cardinals
guys know
are-
that Kyler Murray's never lost to AT&T?
That's what I was just going to say. Kyler Murray's never lost there, man. That's why I stayed away from this, because you would think Cowboys by 3 is a lock. But, man, Kyler Murray, he never lost there.
High
Cardinals coming off a
school,
bye, too.
college. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out too.
How many times are they going to bring that up that he's never lost?
In the open, at least 3 or 4 times.
That's good. It's good stuff right there.
All right, that is our
And
NFL Week 9 spread picks.
And then if he wins, he should be allowed to play Call of Duty on the big Jumbotron.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, guys. That's our Week 9 NFL spread picks. All right, we got 2 traditions to close out every show. We'll get to those when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
When you want NFL football on the radio,
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
you know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins square off in the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage tonight, 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
989-837-6125. Welcome back in. We got two traditions to close out every show. The first of those is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Did not hit yesterday, unfortunately. No. I was really confident in yesterday. More than I was the first 2 days of the week, and that's just how it goes. So
NBA is just tough. It's hard to bet NBA on a daily basis.
Yeah, I still feel okay about the pick, though. You know?
Yeah, but it totally didn't hit at all. Not even get close, though.
Yeah.
So how do you feel good about it?
I like the reasoning behind it. All right, give us an update on this week in the month.
Okay, yeah, so you're 2-1 now on the week, being you are 2.66 units down in the month of October now. So with today and tomorrow left, you got to make up 2.67 units to get back above 500.
I think we're setting new records for.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So does that mean you're going crazy play today to try to get a good amount of it back?
No.
Or are you saving that for tomorrow?
No, I'm going to save that for tomorrow.
Okay.
Today I'm doing a lock. It's Lamar Jackson over 233 passing yards. Like I said, he's averaging 300 against this Dolphins team, and this is the worst version of the Dolphins that we have defensively. I don't think we get a ton of Lamar Jackson running today just because he is fresh off the hamstring. If he doesn't have to, why do it? I think he can pick this team apart in the pocket and just dissect them. I wanted to do over 1.5 touchdowns. It was like minus 178. So then you're asking for 3 touchdowns.
Right.
I didn't really want to mess with that.
It could be a huge Derrick Henry type of game, too, scoring-wise at least.
Yeah. I think Lamar Jackson picks this team apart, though, and pretty seamlessly can get to the 233. Just got to worry about – the only thing I'm worried about here is a blowout. Like if they
True.
just end up running the ball a ton in the second half,
or just running the ball a ton in general. I mean, this Dolphins defense outside of last week against Bijan Robinson has just gotten destroyed by running backs this season.
Got destroyed through the air too. Like this,
True, good point.
The Dolphins defense just sucks. Like they don't do anything
You're
well.
Right, you're right.
They don't have a good pass rush. They don't have a good secondary. Can you name one player in their secondary? I don't think I can.
Jack Jones, he's still there after getting killed in preseason by the Lions. I think so.
Maybe. It's just a mess all around. So I'm going with Lamar Jackson over 233 yards. I got the Ravens in spread picks by 7.5 as well tonight. Taylor fade.
I'll tail this. I'm 3-0 this week on Taylor fade. Looking to stay undefeated there at least. I'll tail this. Yeah, I think Lamar goes crazy. It's his return back. I'm with you.
And I think he's just like truly 100%. So,
yeah, I think we learned that after him not playing last week.
Yeah. All right, that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Okay. Next tradition we have is predicting what Colin Cowherd's going to open with. Did we end up listening to what he opened with yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday we did.
What did he open with?
And I got another point, baby.
Is that 5 shows in a row where one of us has gotten a point?
I think it's 6 in a row because I think you had 4
Maybe
straight.
7.
Could make it 7 today, yeah. You had 4 straight points because it was
stupid.
At what?
We're so dumb.
That was you. At one point, the score was 23-22, and then you hit 4 straight days to go up 27-22. I've now hit 2 in a row to make it 27-24. So yes, 6 straight shows. One of us has gotten it right.
So who's going first right now?
It is your turn to go first today. Like I said, 27-24 the score. It's episode 107. Your turn today.
I'll go World Series.
Yeah,
I don't want to complicate things.
Last 2 days in a row, that's been the lead.
Yeah, it's the rare chance he has to do it. So I think he ends up doing like a. Do I have to be specific, or can I just say World Series?
Sure, you can just say World Series. Now I
right.
just have to debate what I'm gonna go with. Yeah, just go with World Series. Sure.
Okay, I will.
Do we think that he goes with the Hutchinson lead today?
No, I think he goes with the World Series.
Do we think it was a little bit of a too close to do it yesterday, so he's doing it today? And the Lions are one of the best run organizations in football, blah, blah, blah. That lead. Does he talk about LSU football coach, maybe?
I think both of those things could come up throughout the course of the show.
Correct.
I think he leads with the World Series.
Nope, I'm going with Austin Reeves and the Lakers, actually.
Okay.
That's going to be my pick.
Austin Reeves and the Lakers.
Austin Reeves and the Lakers. That's going to be my pick.
Not bad. Not bad.
Maybe they don't need LeBron to come back, J-Mac.
Okay.
Austin Reeves, 32 points per game. That's going to be my pick.
All right. Cool. Then that is our second tradition to close out every show. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you have not yet, go ahead and hop on the YouTube and hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when we go live every single day at 9 a.m. This has been awesome to watch the show develop and grow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it today. I know I had a lot of fun, especially when John came on. John always makes the show a little bit more fun. So, again, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, we're on it all. Just search Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt or The Ben Bosscher Show. Like we said earlier, we're in the middle of getting new studios, so who knows, by the time you listen to this show next month, maybe there's a call line. Has a totally new feel to it on the YouTube. Lot to look forward to with this, so appreciate anyone who's been here the entire time. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll dive more into this.
Spooky.
For Halloween. Kyle's going to dress up. All the more reason to watch on the YouTube. That's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock. See you guys later. That's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast